Channel 12.
Right down to the wire, and Mount Carmel pulled out one of those vintage victories we've come to expect of the Aces. Now, these two meet again with much more on the line. Continued play in the Class 3A state tournament. Hello again, everybody. I'm Scott Allen, and with me is our whole crew today. Rick Johnston, Rob Blackman, Kevin Madden. We're all here set to bring you the second round of the Class 3A playoffs. It's Mount Carmel undefeated at 10-0 against the Red Hill Salukis 8-2. And guys, I guess we start by talking about the last time these two met. It was just a wonderful game, went right down to the end, and the Aces pulled out a miracle play to turn things around.
Certainly, Scott, without a doubt, the most enjoyable game, I think, for Aces fans and football fans in general to watch on that Friday, September the 13th. Remember, it was a Friday the 13th of all things when we defeated Red Hill. We trailed the entire ball game, trailing at 1 point by the score of 12-6. The 91-yard touchdown pass to Jed Casburn late in the game, and then the Justin Swanson touchdown late in the game to give us that ensuring touchdown, which really proved to be huge because if you'll remember, Red Hill drove to our 3-yard line and was eventually fumbled with just a few seconds left in the game. Had Justin Swanson not added that insurance touchdown, they would have been in a position for a field goal to possibly win. So it was a huge game for Mount Carmel football fans. Here in Red Hill, they certainly feel they had us beat that Friday the 13th, and who knows, they may have. They played very well that night. But, Rick, when you look at this Red Hill ball club, if there's one team that's very comparable to Mount Carmel, it is the Salukis. They are loaded in every position.
Well, as you alluded to, Rob, in the first meeting, it was a very big play-oriented game. It was a game of double passes and 91-yard touchdown, 4 vertical runs. I mean,
right.
we had a lot of different things happen in that situation, in that game. And I think today what you're going to see is a very contrasting style game. I think both teams are going to want to try to keep the ball away from the other. I think we're going to look at trying to sustain drives up and down the field. And today I think it's going to be a little bit more of a contrasting game than the first time around.
Kevin Madden is on the sidelines. This is a huge crowd, Kevin Madden, and I know everyone is set. The Aces fans were here extra early, and you can feel the excitement on this field.
Scott, probably in all likelihood, one of the biggest crowds ever to see a high school football game here in Red Hill. Probably 90% of the Red Hill or Mount Carmel fans were here at 12 o'clock when the gates opened. Now the situation is with the field. Looking at the field, the 3 inches of rain that fell on Thursday, not really that much of an effect. It's done a good job of drying out, but this field isn't in the best shape that it could be. Luckily, there hasn't been a game played on this field in the last 3 weeks. If you look down at near the goal line to where Red Hill warmed up, you can see that they chewed up that area there quite a bit, so you can probably expect that to take place in other parts of the field. So the field conditions as the game goes on today could come into play.
Well, there's an awful lot of spirit associated with this game. The fans, of course, ringing the field. They've already completely taken up all seats available. A lot of the Mount Carmel fans are seated here on the home side as well. Both teams are on the field. Red Hill now making its way from their little team meeting. Now they are led by, of course, the fine quarterback Billy Gray. He brings them through the sign, and now there go the Aces doing the same thing on the other side of the field.
Well, you mentioned Billy Gray, and when you look at this Saluki offense, they have some very talented players. The Tolley kid can play. He got hurt in our game. We never really got to see him at full speed and full strength. They've also got a fine wide receiver in Jed Wilson. You have the Allen and the Hill kids in there, and they're very good at the specialty positions. But the key to Red Hill football is as Billy Gray goes, so go the Salukis. He is the he's the focal point. He was not only the team's leading passer, but the team's leading rusher this season. He plays both ways, plays defensive back as well. And the key to Red Hill's success is Billy Gray. If you allow Billy Gray to get outside the pocket, run around, throw the long pass, find the open receiver, if you allow him to run untouched on the option and turn it up, Mount Carmel's in for a long day today. But again, the key, you've got to stop number 9, Billy Gray, last year's first-team all-conference quarterback, and certainly will be in the running again this year.
Well, based on what we saw in week number 2 of this season, when Red Hill playing so very well in week number 3, we would have imagined Red Hill wouldn't have even had a close game the rest of the year, that nothing would have happened to them. They would have won the rest of the games, but they did lose to Fairfield. What happened to Red Hill? What did they get away from?
Well, I think they did get away from the wide-open style of play, and maybe that was by design a little bit. You know, the last 3 weeks of the season, they go back in a full wishbone, double tight inset, really try to pound at people, knowing that they're probably going to have success in those games. And quite frankly, I think Coach Evans was just setting up his first-round opponent in a playoff. He got back down against El Dorado and really spread the field out and did what they do best. And Boy, I tell you what, I can't quit looking at this excitement you alluded to earlier, Scott. This, with the fences the way it are, maybe 10 yards from the edge of the field, it's like arena football with all these people around there. You know, it's with the Saluki down here, this mascot they got down here. This may be one of the few days you actually want to get in that suit, as cold as it is out here.
Yeah, some of the fans that are ringing the inside fence here along the actual playing perimeter are actually seated with blankets down, so it's got a little festive atmosphere to it at the same time. We're almost set to go.
I see the Aces will be kicking off this afternoon. Interesting, I can't wait to see the Aces on offense to see what kind of defense the Salukis give us. They've ran a 5-2 all season long, with the exception of the September 13th game against us when they came out in a 4-4 and kind of surprised us a little bit. So what look will they give us on defense? That will be interesting to see. Knowing Bill Evans, the gimmick coach that he is, we may see a 6-1. You never know with this guy. He can really pull some ones out of the hat. So I'm anxious to see when Mount Carmel gets the ball on offense, but it looks like we're going to start on D here this afternoon.
The Aces will be kicking off from our right to our left, as you visualize. Deep for the Salukis, Billy Gray and Fred Akers. The last time these two met, the Aces won 20-12. They trailed until the final 2 minutes and 19 seconds of the game.
You think Billy Gray's not important? He even returns kicks for this ball club.
Gabe Williams with the kick. He squibs it down the middle of the field. It rolls to around the 15. Now takes a high hop and is retrieved there by Dusty Green. He doesn't get much on the return, out to around the 25-yard line. That's where Red Hill takes over. What a setup this is. Red Hill 8-2, Mount Carmel 10-0. This is the second time the Aces have faced an NEC opponent in the postseason. The first time was 10 years ago when we faced only twice in the season. Beat them both times.
Excuse me, Scott, as Coach Hardy alluded to in the pregame show, the key for the Aces today will be to stop the option. Stop the option game of the Salukis, force them to have to throw the ball, and then take your chances on that short passing game.
And now the Salukis shift into the bone, pull everybody in tight, and Gray will operate on first down. Aces adjusting on defense, too, and there's a handoff. Ball carrier gets really nothing. Freddie Akers on the carry to the right side. D's there. Burbrick, no, not Burbrick. Yeah, Burbrick was there on defense.
I'll tell you what, immediately they come out, they run a shift trying to get our personnel running while we're adjusting to them. So I think it's going to be one of those it's going to be a feeling out process like early in a heavyweight fight. Where we kind of, is a jab going to work? Are we going to have to come with a haymaker? I mean, what are we going to do here?
They went with the double slot and switched into the full double tight wishbone. Interesting, this time it looks like they line up full wishbone again.
Now they switch out of the wishbone. They go to exactly where they were a moment ago. They got receivers left and right, and also wing backs left and right. Now one man in motion. That is Tully to the right. And here's Gray optioning. Somebody's got him. Can't wrap him up. Now finally Fisher slows Gray up and drops him for a loss. Back at around the 27-yard line.
Well, we've made a switch at nose tackle today. We're starting the bigger, stronger Jared Steckler as opposed to the quicker Eric McKinney. Not that Steckler isn't pretty quick. He runs as well as anybody on our team, and he's really having his way right now with the center for the Salukis up front, John Crutchfield. So let's see if that little switch in the starting defensive nose guard can continue to pay dividends.
Steve Wilson checks out wide to the right side. Remember who he is. 3rd down and 11 from the first meeting. Here is Gray with wings both ways, receivers both ways. Gray's looking back in the pocket, now is running out of it. Gets by one. Fisher drags him down at around the line of scrimmage. He got around DeVoe, did Gray, but then he was dragged down. Maybe a gain of 1, brings up 4th and 9.
And a great job that time of the defensive linemen of running their lanes. They kept him in the pocket. If you can keep him in the pocket, then you got a better chance to stop Billy Gray. The defensive ends ran their lanes. McNew and DeVoe ran the lanes, forced them back inside, and then the big defensive tackle, Mark Fisher, able to make the tackle. Great job by the D-line.
Steve Wilson, the league's #1 punter during the season, gets off a good one. It chases Casburn back inside his own 35. He retrieves it on the bounce of the 33, gets away from 1, 35. Down the left sideline, 45, 50, 45, comes back to the middle, to the 40, 35. He could go 50. He kept trying to outshoot the last man who had a shot at him, but Casburn returns the ball all the way to the Red Hill 15-yard line.
Holy mackerel. That's a 50-yard punt. And Jed had trouble with it right at first. It took a high bounce, but when he got his hands on it, he was outrunning the coverage.
That's the difference between Jed Casburn right now and Jed early in the season. He slowed down. He picked his spots. He really used his blockers well. Nice bit of running that time by Jed.
And it is first down now for the Aces. Line of scrimmage is the 15-yard line after that electrifying punt return by Casburn. Chris Rafferty sets the club down, has one setback, gives the ball to Swanson. He tries to jog outside and is wrapped up there and around the 13-yard line, gain of about 4, 2nd down. I think Kevin wanted to comment here on the sidelines a moment ago. Kevin? Hang on a minute, Kevin. We'll go to you. Well, maybe we won't go to you. Here we go.
after this play, guys.
Okay, second down, and here is Rafferty. Fakes to Swanson, keeps himself, and is going to get in for the touchdown. Chris Rafferty tucked the ball in for Swanson, then grabbed it back out and scored. He was virtually untouched on a 12-yard touchdown run, and the Aces are on the board just like that. 6-0. We played 2.5 minutes. Kevin?
See, I knew something big was going to happen, guys. That's why I wanted to wait. Rick and I talked about this before the game. Getting out early would be key in this game for either team. The Aces defense forces Red Hill 3 downs and out. Meanwhile, Mount Carmel, big special teams play, punches it in from 15 yards out.
Rafferty sets the club down. The Aces going for 2. He keeps the ball. Go, stumbles, reaches out for the end zone, and he did not make it. He's that close. He lost his footing and tried to reach out as far as he could and get to that end zone, but couldn't. So the Aces miss on the 2-point try, but they lead. Casburn's punt return sets it up. Now Carmel 6, Red Hill nothing. Back in a moment.
Security Bank says we're your bank for life. We mean it. No matter where you are in your life, we're ready to help. With a full spectrum of banking, investment, lending, and trust services, we can do a lot for you now and in the future. Plus, we can provide the resources and guidance that suit your particular financial needs and plan. It's no wonder so many people have been our valued customers for so many years. Because at Security Bank, we're committed to being your bank for life.
You'll find us just up the road from the orchard. Can't miss us. Right across the street from the grade school. Or over on Washington Avenue, a stone's throw from Green River Road. We're Welborn Clinic, the Tri-State's finest personal physicians, working together to provide advanced, cost-efficient care. Right where you want us. Right in your neighborhood, including the heart of downtown Evansville. Welborn Clinic, your total healthcare system.
Our heating and air conditioning dealer is Dave Lennox.
Actually, that's Glenn Swartz. That's Swartz Heating and Air Conditioning.
People trust Dave to keep them comfortable.
Glenn Swartz.
It's not just that Dave has the best equipment.
This is Dave. I'm Glenn.
He also passed that Lennox Quality Dealer Standards program.
Dave, Glenn. So,
if you've got a problem, call Dave.
Or call Swartz Heating and Air Conditioning.
Lennox, 5,000 independent dealers, 100 years of service. One less thing to worry about.
Attaboy, Dave. Glenn.
Hey, Aces fans, after the game, meet your friends at Subway, 809 Walnut Street in Mount Carmel for a delicious sub sandwich or salad. They're open until 2 a.m. on Friday and Saturdays and until midnight Sunday through Thursday. Subway offers over 14 different varieties of 6-inch or foot-long subs, and you can create your own special sub by choosing from 8 different veggies free of charge. All subs are made with fresh baked bread, and Subway has 6 subs that have 6 or less grams of fat. Any sub can also be made as a salad. Subway, 809 Walnut Street.
Here's the kickoff by Gabe, taken by one of the upbacks at around the 30-yard line, 35 to the 37-yard line. On the return, Dusty Green. 1st and 10, Red Hill from the 37. Dusty Green on the return for Red Hill of Williams' kick following the touchdown to the 37-yard line. That's where Red Hill takes over, 1st and 10.
Well, that's where special teams can play such a huge dividend in a ball game like this. Casburn's punt return sets up great field position for Mount Carmel. We're able to take advantage. We haven't really seen Jed really bust out in special teams yet this season, but boy, what a day to do it here today.
All right, the Salukis drop out of the bone. They lined up in it. Now they've set and broken it, and they send a Tully in motion. One setback. Tully gets the call and is ground down over the right side after a pickup of 1. The sledding is tough in that part of the field. He's down at the 39, 2nd and 9.
I'll tell you what, though, Rob, you saw that time when they adjust. Aaron Burbick's grabbing linemen, putting them where they need to be. That's when you got an intelligent kid, a linebacker, that's one of the meanest kids on your team. That's a pretty good combination. You're seeing some leadership out there right now.
Great job by Burbrick and Mark Fisher right now. They've been in on every play so far, making the big plays happen. That's what you want out of your seniors.
Joshua Hill checks out wide to the left, and wide right is Steve Wilson. There are also a couple of wing backs, and again, Tully in motion, and Gray gives it. Here comes a reverse now. Back to the left side is Akers. He gets by 2, though, and he's got some running room. 40, 45, first down for the 49. He could have been brought down for a loss as soon as he took the handoff, but he fought through a couple would-be tacklers and gets the first down. Nice running.
Jake Lewis, a great job at free safety, getting up the field and forcing it back inside. However, the pursuit was not there from the rest of the Aces defense. Lewis recognized it. The rest of the Aces were about a half a step too slow. He forced it back in, but a nice one-on-one move by Akers at the line of scrimmage, and then he busted up for the first down.
Akers, a 5'9" senior, did a marvelous job there. 1st and 10 now for the Salukis. Line of scrimmage to 48. Receivers are left and right, so are the wings. One setback, and that is Brandon Tully. Now Akers is in motion to the left, and Gray is going to throw. They're in on him. McNew dumps it out. Kind of just hits the deck. Is there a receiver around there? The official apparently says yes. It sure looked like he was grounding it, though.
Number 77 was the only receiver I saw. Boy, Brian Schneider, what pursuit up front. He just busted through the O-line, and Billy Gray was running for his life.
And he didn't intend to ground it, but boy, that's the way it came out.
Yeah, I think it just slipped.
He was trying to throw it away, and it kind of slipped out of his hand, but that's the way it came out. So now it's 2nd and 10. And the line of scrimmage remains the 48-yard line. Early in the first quarter, Mount Carmel leads 6-0. Casburn, how much was that punt return?
54 yards unofficially.
54 yards set the Aces up for a score. Now Gray sends one man in motion to the right. One setback, backs up, wants to throw, fakes to the fullback.
Screen.
On him, screen, pass, dump out, and it's broken up, incomplete. Over the middle and around the 50-yard line.
Great job by Aaron Burbick. He recognized the screen. I know you noticed it too, Rick, and he set right on the fullback. They're not going to let him throw the screen. Burbick, as opposed to jumping into pass coverage, just set on the fullback. He recognized the screen coming. Something the Aces have done very well in preparation this week. They've realized on tapes the only time that Billy Gray drops straight back is when it is the middle screen. The Aces defense recognized at that time, saw it was a straight drop back, and played it perfect.
Now it's 3rd and 10 following that incomplete pass. Receivers left and right. Again, the wings. One man in motion. That is Tully. Akers is the lone setback. And again, Gray gives an option pitch off, and Tully falls down. That wasn't the plan at all. And Williams and Lewis are there to bring the ball carrier down for a big loss back at around the 42.
Well, I tell you, Rob, you've coached football and you've played football, and 9 out of 10 every football games is won in the trenches, and right now we are dominating the line of scrimmage.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
You can talk about special, skilled situations, skilled positions, but you got to have that line.
Now a high snap on the punt. Steve Wilson is going to get dropped, and the Aces will take over at around the 25 of Red Hill. It was a high snap, and then Wilson couldn't hang on to it. He did the best he could, but the Aces brought him down. Schneider and McNew and company. Let's go to the sidelines. Here's Kevin Madden.
All right, guys, another big special teams play for the Aces. If they capitalize here, you got to figure that it's going to take a big chunk out of the Red Hill sales. They have to be hanging their head saying, my God, what's happening here?
Well, Red Hill must have known the Aces are a much better defensive club than they were at the start of the year. You can almost go man for man and find out areas we have made improvements. Now the Aces start from the 25, flag down. Casburn's dropped after about a yard pickup over the right side of the 24.
Well, you talk about defensively how much better we've gotten, but what about how much better we've gotten offensively? With Justin Swanson in week 3, he was almost non-existent. In the latter half of the season, he's been our biggest ball carrier.
Well, again, Rob, I think part of that, too, is our coaches have really had to sell Justin on the fact that, hey, you've got to develop a fullback mentality. It's just as important for you to get important blocks and fulfill your role and not just carry the football.
And yet, what was he most excited about last week in the victory over Carlisle? The pass he caught over the middle.
Right.
So if we can get the guys coming out of the backfield, man, that makes us pretty tough on offense.
You're exactly right. We've exploited him as a pass receiver. He's almost at 1,000 yards rushing this season. He's really been our go-to running back here as of late.
5-yard penalty against the Aces. 1st and 15. Rafferty options. There's the pitch to Casburn. He's to the 25 down the right sideline near the first down marker at the 20. They're going to mark him out of bounds right at the 20, maybe a little bit ahead of that mark. Looks like it could be a first down from here.
I think it's going to be just short. Of course, we have those extra 5 yards added on the penalty.
I'm sorry, we got 5 yards to go.
So about a 10-yard gain, though, but we'll be just short.
What in the world am I saying? 2nd and 5. I'm kind of wishful thinking, I guess, here a little bit. Now Rafferty sets it down. Line of scrimmage is the 20-yard line. It is 2nd and 5. Snow is the wide receiver to the right. Casburn in motion that way, and there's the handoff to Swanson. He bursts through the middle to the 10, to the 5, touchdown! He actually got pushed into the end zone by the Red Hill defender. It's a touchdown for the Aces, a 20-yard run by Swanson over the left side, and Mount Carmel leads 12-0.
All you got to do is give him a little sugar, and he finds the end zone.
That touchdown coming with 7:09 to go in the first period, and so the Aces take advantage of that fumbled punt, just like we took advantage of the great punt return the last time. Now Snow checks out wide to the right side. Ace is going to go for 2. Casburn's a wing to the left. And Rafferty calls the signals, looks to throw, looking for Snow in the corner, and he has got it. 2 points. That little lofting pass, and who was on coverage for the Salukis? Looked like Billy Gray, but Snow was there and just caught the ball for the 2 points. Aces lead it 14-0. We're back to Bridgeport in just a moment.
Looking for the best in checking, look no further than the Bank of Mount Carmel. Whether you want the convenience of free checking with unlimited withdrawals, the popular Bank Club account with its many benefits, or an interest-bearing Now or Super Now account, we have a checking option that's just right for you. Bank of Mount Carmel even offers the special Star account based on money market interest rates. When you need checking with the best flexibility and benefits, look for the sign of complete friendly banking services. Look for Bank of Mount Carmel, located at the corner of 6th and Market Street, Mount Carmel, Illinois.
For over 70 years, Mount Carmel Sand and Gravel has served the Wabash Valley area with all grades of sand and gravel. Since starting in 1924, Mount Carmel Sand and Gravel has added concrete, oil and chip, and a variety of crushed stone to their product line. And now Sand and Gravel is continuing to grow. Their road construction division has pioneered a specialty in soil stabilization that has taken them to hundreds of projects in 8 states. Whether it's residential, commercial, or industrial, call Mount Carmel Sand and Gravel.
One but 2 quarter-pound beef patties, 3 slices of melted cheese, 8 strips of crispy bacon. They say the world is getting smaller, but what's really happened is that the burger has gotten bigger. Introducing the Monster Burger, only from Hardee's. What will they think of next? Breakfast is in the Monster Omelet Biscuit with plenty of ham, bacon, and cheeses.
And the kick down by the Salukis at the 35. The Aces on the kick. Red Hill down on the recovery at the 35-yard line, and that's where Red Hill takes over. Salukis trail here 14-0.
Well, coaches always talk about how important special teams is as a facet and an aspect of the game. We've definitely seen how important it's been here in the early going. A great punt return by Jed, then a bobbled punt snap, and all of a sudden the Aces lead 14-0.
Opportunistic teams are ones that succeed in the playoffs, too, especially when November comes and elements play factors in ball games. Now the Salukis line it up into the bone, and Gray drops the snap and is decked immediately by Steckler, but he did recover, the Red Hill quarterback did, and grabbed the ball back at looks like the 31-yard line, a loss of 4 on the play, second down.
That'll give us time for Aces Trivia. Our Aces Trivia question today brought to you by Bluff City Fitness. Today's question, Chris Rafferty has not thrown an interception since week 4 of the season when we played Flora. Today's question, how many passes in a row has he thrown, excluding today, without a pick? That's today's Aces Trivia question. We'll give you the answer at halftime.
Steve Wilson wide to the right side, and Hill is wide left. Now in motion is Tully, and there is the pitch to Tully, right side. He's brought down and around the 30-yard line. May have incurred another loss on the play. D, one of those on the primary for the Aces. It'll be 3rd and 15 now.
Gabe Williams made that play that time from the strong safety position, got upfield, forced it back inside. That allows players like D and Burbrick to fill the alleys and run the alley lanes and make the hits. So we've seen a good job so far today from both our free safety and strong safety, Lewis and Williams, and forcing things back inside, keeping that sweep inside where the linebackers can play.
Wide receivers left and right again. The wings are split as well. One set back. Now a man in motion. That is Akers. He's going to the left on 3rd and long, and there's a slant pass caught by the receiver Brant Powden, to Dusty Green. No, but it is Powden. He's brought down at around the 38-yard line. Gain of about 7 still. 4th and long. Williams on the stop.
We know, if you may have noticed that time, Zeb Marcotte was in the game for us. We put in a new defensive package called the Z package for actually Zeb, the Z for Zeb. On long passing downs, Zeb comes into the game as an extra defender.
Now they'll have to give up the ball again. Another punt, this time by Wilson. The Aces watch it roll toward. Nope, Kazmer's going to leave it alone. It's going to roll inside the 20 down near the 15-yard line. And so the Aces will take over deep in their own end of the field, first time today.
I know why Wilson is leading the conference. He has 2 punts for 95 yards today.
Well, you know, again, the first punt that he had where Jed got the good return, you know, sometimes you actually out-kick your coverage. Right. And how many times do you see it where a guy bobbles it or hesitates a little bit at the point of the catch and then zip, he's gone.
You're exactly right, out-kicking the coverage, because the defense you got to break down and see if he's going to handle the ball or not.
Aces line it up 1st and 10 from the 15, and Rafferty gives a pitch to Kessler. Fumbled, but the Aces fall on it back at around the 12-yard line.
I think it was Aaron Burbrick, the pulling guard, I believe. Maybe it was...
It looked like Snow fell on the ball.
You're exactly right. Snow fell on it. And lucky he was in the right spot at the right time to salvage that one.
Second down and 13. One of the linemen was blazing through, almost looked like he was about to intercept that pitch. And now there's a handoff. Casburn hit hard and dropped at around the 15-yard line.
That was a really nice hit by Brandon Tolley. He really came up and stuck Jed.
That was Keepus, I believe.
Oh,
Keepus on the carry?
Yeah, we're out of practice.
And a tough hit there. We're down to 4:25 to go in the first period. It's 3rd down and 9 now. Line of scrimmage is the 16-yard line. Rafferty brings the club up with Casburn, a wing to the left side. Swanson and Keepus in the backfield, and Chris wants to throw, fires long for Smith on the right sidelines. He's got it with an over-the-shoulder catch, and he is pushed out of bounds where? They're going to mark him at around the 46-yard line. That's a first down pass play of 30 yards.
And Craig just ran by Billy Gray. Gray was like feet in stone, and Craig just sprinted right past him. Nice over-the-shoulder catch, and what a perfect pass.
Well, hey, Craig's just a big, slow kid. I mean, he's not very quick. He's too tall to be quick, isn't he?
Right.
Now it's 1st and 10 for the Aces. They line it up from their own 41-yard line, and up the middle shoots, it looks like Casburn. And he is brought down right to about a yard or so, maybe 2 yards, to around the 49-yard line. Be 2nd down and 8. A little pushing off the ball.
Red Hill and Aces fans are, of course, trying to keep an eye on that Freeburg-DeCoin game being played today in Freeburg. We'll try to give you updates on that one throughout the afternoon.
Snow checks out wide to the left side, wing back to the left. And Rafferty directs Casburn now.
Looks like he's mad at him, doesn't it? He said, Jed, get over here. What are you doing there?
Now sends Keepus in motion, and the handoff goes to Swanson. He powers off the left side. He hasn't been touched yet. To the 20, to the 15, flag down, and Swanson not down to the 15-yard line, but...
I think one of the Red Hill kids may have just nullified this play, because as the play ran past him, I think he took a cheap shot on either Keepus or Casburn, and the official trailing the play threw a flag after the initial flag, which I think was holding or clipping on us. Okay, clipping. Unless there were 2 clips on the play, that could have happened as well.
Yeah, but with Dick Dietz, the official here, when he sees a flag, he's going to back up his other officials. And then, seriously, that could have been a situation where he just get another flag on the field.
You could be exactly right, Coach. I saw that second flag from Dietz, the head official, follow late in the play. I thought it was a separate penalty, but it was not.
Well, you're right, Dick. In the last run, but prior to this last play, Dick got in and kind of separated a couple players on the push and shoving that Scott alluded to, and I think he kind of warned Jed a little bit.
So now they mark it back to the 48-yard line of Mount Carmel. It is 2nd down and 8. And here's a handoff. Swanson, this time he's met as he goes over the middle. And around the 49 of Red Hill, a gain of 3, bringing up 3rd and 5.
Nice hard hit by the Salukis. They kind of high-load him that time and really put a nice shot on Justin, but he holds tight.
2:55 to go, first period. Aces lead at 14-0.
Possibly a passing down here, 3rd and 6.
Let's see what Rafferty does. Casburn in motion, and Raff keeps the ball himself and turns, has the first down over the 45. Fumble on the play. Red Hill has the ball. It was swiped away at the last minute by Bill Powton, the 5'11 senior. And the Salukis have the ball at their own 42-yard line.
Chris trying to dive for that extra yard. That's just an extra effort fumble, trying to get that first down, doing all he could, and a hit late in the play and jars the ball loose.
So now Red Hill has its best start of the day, sending Gray sends Hill out wide to the left side, Wilson wide to the right, also has a couple of setbacks. There's Tully in motion, and Gray, after a fake now, is chased out of the pocket, fires over the middle, almost an interception for Haywood at around the 45 of Red Hill, pass incomplete for Wilson.
There you see that athleticism of Gray, just kind of hanging around the pocket, keeping those quick feet moving, trying to find the open receiver. He found the right man, but great play by Ryan Haywood to step in front. Billy Gray 0 for 3 so far this afternoon.
Takes guts to throw Haywood's way. Red Hill ought to know better, too. So they're a conference opponent. They know very well how good Haywood is on that side on defense, so they're taking their chances.
He's got 10 interceptions, leads everyone in the conference, but they threw his way that time.
2nd down and 10, and he almost picked it off. Line of scrimmage is the 41-yard line. And now there's Akers sweeping left side. He's across the 45 down to the 48-yard line before he's brought down. Or who was it? Sowden, did they say?
Chris Allen, I believe.
Allen on the carry. So a gain of about 7 on the play. Maybe call it 6, third down from there.
Interesting, we look at the Aces' quick start. You have to wonder if maybe a little bit of playoff history doesn't play into this, or playoff experience. The Aces in the playoffs for the 18th time in school history. Red Hill just the 2nd time in their school history. Maybe they're a little too hyped, maybe a little bit too up for this game. I think Red Hill's settling down a little bit now, but unfortunately they're 14 points down at this point.
Yeah, when you're a Cinderella team and a newcomer to the playoffs, sometimes the worst thing you can do is play a home game in the playoffs. It's now third down, and Gray, Fisher's on him. He gets rid of the pass. It's tipped around and incomplete. Wilson still almost came up with that over the middle at the 40-yard line. Boy, Fisher was all over the quarterback.
And I tell you, Rob, you saw it too. Boy, Ryan Haywood had set it up and set it up and said, come on, throw it.
Baited him, didn't he?
And he did. He certainly did. Timing was perfect that time.
He baited him, said try to sneak it in here, and that's 2 pass breakups from Ryan Haywood already here this afternoon. I still don't understand why people try to throw his way.
They've thrown Haywood's way twice, and look what's happened. And it'll happen that way all afternoon long. Now there's Wilson with a kick on 4th down. Casburn backpedals all the way to the 10-yard. Drops the ball. A scramble on it, and the Aces fall back on it at around the 11. Casburn was caught flat-footed after that ball got away from him, and nobody could go after it for a split second. And it just laid there on the deck. Finally, the Aces recovered.
Well, you can see why he's the leading punter in the conference. Boy, he's got a lively leg.
44 yards unofficially on that one. Wow.
But, you know, that's the 3rd punt he's done. You'd think we'd be back by now. We've had him go over our heads twice now. Let's get back, guys. It is 1st and 10 now for the Aces. Line of scrimmage is the 10-yard line. He hasn't kicked one under 45 yards yet. Now Rafferty keeps himself after faking. Turns it up over the right side. Gets across the... well, maybe to the 15-yard line.
Notice Chris really double-wrapped that football that time. He understands he fumbled last time, and he's going to do everything in his power to keep from laying it on the turf again. Double-wrapped the football. Nice run and gain of about 3 or 4 yards that time. 2nd
down and 7 now. Casburn goes in motion to the right side, and the handoff looks like Swanson on the carry. And he has some forward progress to around the 13-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and about 4.
3-yard gain for Swanee. He's got 30 yards in rushing already this afternoon.
We're now under 1 minute to go in the first period. Aces lead it 14-0. And then Casburn's dropped all the way back at around the 9-yard line for a big loss on the play.
Well, that's a bobbled snap again, or a pitch. I'm not sure the pitch even got to him that time. I couldn't tell from up here.
Did it actually get on? See, was it actually a fumble over there? I got to put my binoculars on this. Casburn fell on it. At around the 9-yard line, it will be 4th down. Bad pitch is what Kevin has from the sideline. And Snow's in the middle of the end zone ready to do some punting. And here is the snap under no rush. He gets not a great kickoff, but it takes a bounce out to the 42, where Gray retrieves it to the 35. And down the right sideline. Have they marked him out yet? No! He's down inside the 20, down to around the 15-yard line. Let's see where they mark him. We can't see through the people down here, but it looks like he'll be at around the 15. Boy, it sure looked like he was out of bounds. The official had the eye on it, though, and he was right there. We couldn't see.
Right at the 20, Scott. 19.
Nice return by Gray, and Red Hill's in great shape here. They need a score.
22-yard punt return, and here's the special teams working in the favor of the Salukis this time, as they're in great field position.
12 seconds to go in the first period. Gray lines the club up, 1st and 10 from the Aces 20, just inside that mark. One setback. Akers now in motion to the left. There's Tully banging over the right side. Berberick and DeVue work to grab him down over the 20 and around the 18-yard line.
Berberick having none of that time, and that's how the quarter will end.
So we played 1 quarter here in the Class 3A playoffs in Bridgeport. Mount Carmel leads the homestanding Salukis 14-0. Back with more in a moment.
90 years of service to the community for any business is impressive, but when you consider a bank that's been around for 90 years, it's nearly unheard of. But at the First National Bank of Allendale and Mount Carmel, we've survived the Great Depression, 2 bank robberies, and of course, a horrific tornado. But through all of that, the First National Bank has pulled through and is now Wabash County's only independent bank, investing your deposits with local people. Stop by today and experience the personal approach to banking. The First National Bank, across from Target Mount Carmel and on Main Street, Allendale, member FDIC.
When it comes to your vehicle, there are 2 names in Mount Carmel you need to know: Shocks Body and Glass and Deck Hill Battery. At Shocks, Paul Rossignol and the crew offer free estimates on your damage. Then the expertise and know how to fix it right the first time. Deck Hill Battery is your all-pro auto parts store, stocking a full array of auto parts. Whatever you're looking for, Deck Hill is bound to have it. When it comes to your car or truck, don't settle on second best. Trust Shocks Body and Glass, 315 West 6th Street, and Deck Hill Battery, 305 Market Street, Mount Carmel.
At Capital Planning Alliance, our mission is simple.
Our mission is to help our clients achieve an ever-increasing degree of financial independence, safely and efficiently, through a long-term tax, legal, and investment planning relationship with a trusted and knowledgeable advisor.
Capital Planning Alliance's impressive staff consists of 4 certified public accountants, an investment advisor, and legal counsel, bringing to the table over 51 years of financial planning. Call the professionals at Capital Planning Alliance at 263-3640. Capital Planning Alliance, making your money work harder for you.
Little Italy's Pizza in Mount Carmel offers the best in Italian food. Our selection of sandwiches includes the ever-popular Italian beef sandwich, ham and cheese, the Italian sub, and stromboli. And of course we have pizza. Our family feast is only $12 plus tax. It includes a large single-topping pizza, breadsticks, and 2-liter. And since we're located on Walnut Street in Mount Carmel, it's easy for carry-out or delivery. That's Little Italy's Pizza, 262-4121.
We begin the second quarter here in Bridgeport. Red Hill has the ball, 2nd down and 9. The line of scrimmage is the 19-yard line. And Akers is in motion as Gray calls the signals. Here's a little pass out here to the left side for Powden, incomplete. Ryan Peter up on the coverage. The pass never got to the receiver on the swing over here to the left side. 3rd down.
And Rob, that's the setup. That's the setup. You can see it coming, can't you?
Yeah, they're going to set up the quick hitter and then try to hitch and go, basically, and try to throw it over Ryan Peter, see if they can't set him up. But that's a poorly thrown ball right at the ankles that time of the wide receiver. Interesting, Billy Gray really struggling throwing the ball. He's 0 for 5 here early on in this ball game. And this is a young man who threw for over 1,000 yards this season and really had a high completion percentage.
So now it's 3rd and 9. Let's see what the Salukis do here. They have the ball at the Aces 19-yard line. Receivers left and right, and here we go. The high lofting pass for the end zone. It is caught.
Hey, it's going back.
Now he pushed Ryan Peter. Joshua Hill pushed off as he caught that ball, and they're going to nab him for offensive pass interference, and it's going to negate the touchdown.
That was too obvious that time. He pushed him right in the back, right in the numbers, and the official's right in front of the play. That's just too obvious. Good call by the official right on top of the play. And that's a great call. I mean, some of the fans booing here, but that one was obvious. Our TV viewers are saying, oh, yeah, you could see that one.
Well, they'll see it on the replay.
Yeah.
If you're seeing
it. Oh, we don't have instant replay.
Yeah.
That'll be next year, though, right?
Next year, yeah, we'll do that. That's in next year's budget. Yeah. And the officials are going to walk this one off.
I tell you, great coverage by Ryan Peter. I mean, he's right on top of him, and Hill did the only thing he could do, push off to try to make a play. They tried to pick on Ryan Peter. They tried Ryan Haywood, and they had no luck. Now they're going Peter's way, and so far he's responding to the challenge. Ryan Peter, the enforcer, as we call him.
The walk-off back to the 34-yard line creates now a 3rd down and 25 for the Salukis. Ryan Peter has certainly come on here in the last half of the season. And right now, Brad Powden is checked out wide left against Ryan. Gray calls the signals, receivers and flankers both ways. And here's the pitch. Akers is going to throw the ball, looking for Powden. Left side, here it comes, and it's incomplete. Sailed to the left, and incomplete it is. 4th down.
Well, Rick, you wondered when the trickery would come. Looks like early in the second quarter.
Well, again, it goes back to staying with your defensive route, staying with that coverage. And all week they've prepared against Billy Gray, being somebody who, normally you're going to play defense for about 3 or 4 seconds, and then the play is over. Well, with him, it becomes 5, 6, 8 seconds, and you've got to stay in a defensive set, in a defensive mode. And, boy, our backs are doing a nice job.
How huge was that penalty? It took them really out of field goal range. Now with the ball in their own 34, they're facing a 4th and 25. Just a huge penalty on the pass interference.
Well, Gray will probably throw it here now. It is 4th down, and everyone is expecting a pass, and he is back to do just that. He's flushed out of the pocket now. He's chased off to the left side, gets rid of the ball, and it will sail incomplete. Pick on Amy. They're going to say no. The ball hit the deck.
That's okay. Yeah,
that's not a bad.
That's okay.
Marcotte almost picked it off at the 5-yard line, which is probably something we didn't want anyway. So it'll be 1st down.
All the Red Hill fans are saying, he intercepted, he intercepted.
Yeah.
They want the ball down deep.
I mean, you can't fault Zeb there. Zeb's going for the football.
Yeah.
That's what he's taught to do. But We just as soon Zeb did catch that off the bounce. Great hands catching off the bounce.
That's right. That was nice.
Everybody switched from he's got it to, oh, no, he doesn't have it. First and 10. Now keep us in motion. And Rafferty hands off to the up-back, who gets to the line of scrimmage and maybe another yard for Swanson to the 35. It'll be 2nd and 9.
It's interesting, Rob. The last series, we went into an offset line. Now we've come out with just our base package again.
And here is Rafferty off the no huddle, hands off, ball carrier over the left side, maybe a couple more yards to around the 37, 38-yard line. Justin again. Now it's 3rd and 7 for the Aces.
Aces have been working on that offset line all week, Rick, with Steckler on the same side with Snow and Burbrick, and it really brings a load of folks over there.
Here it is.
Now it looks like we balanced it up a little bit. Here's Rafferty. He's on the fly towards Keepus, who can't reach out and grab it at around the 45 of Red Hill. Just a little bit too strong in the throw, and it'll be 4th down.
He ran right by the defender. The defender went for the play action and froze his feet, and Josh on the sprint ran by him, but just a little bit out of reach.
Well, actually, it shows how much I know. We've stayed with it. We just put sides of the field, gone to the left side being our strong side in that formation.
That's why the field was tilted that way, partner. Them big boys.
Now the Aces are going to give it up, and here is Craig Snow. Gets rid of the kick. He gets rid of the ball, and Gray fields it on a couple of bounces and around his own 30-yard line, 30, 35, 40. Flag down. Nope, no flag. To the 45. To the 45-yard line. One of the Aces hit on the return and looks like he's injured.
That's our center. We don't like that.
That's Horrell? Yep, he is hurt. He's already got that left arm heavily bandaged, and he's laying over here in front of the Red Hill bench.
And away from the play, Jake Harrison, number 42, really took a shot on our punter, Craig Snow, which was really away from the play. And they were kind of wrestling down on the ground, and Dick Dietz came over and broke those two up. So you can tell there's bad blood here this afternoon between these two ball clubs.
And now John Hart over attending to Josh Horrell. A couple of coaches over here now in front of the Red Hill bench. Bill Evans, a Red Hill coach, also assisting. We have 10 minutes, 36 seconds to go in the first half. Aces 14 and Red Hill nothing. Horrell gets up easily under his own power and jogs off the field.
Well, that's good news for Josh and the Aces. Our backup center would be the sophomore J.C. Warnken. And not to take anything away from J.C., but just a sophomore, you certainly would like to have Josh Horrell in there healthy to keep centering the ball.
So now Red Hill has the ball, 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage is the midfield stripe, the 50-yard line. Gray calls the signals, has had a rough start here. Quarterback sends Akers in motion to the left. And hands off. Ball carrier this time, Chris Allen, over the left side, then darts towards the middle and gets to the 45 of Mount Carmel. A gain of about 3 on the play, 2nd down and 7.
Quick hitter, the fullback dive to Allen that time. They really enjoyed success with that against El Dorado last week. They're really able to establish the fullback or the Salukis. They haven't had a lot of luck with it here this afternoon, but that time they certainly do.
Red Hill defeated El Dorado last week in round 1 of the Class 3A playoffs, 43-28 at El Dorado. This is their first home game of the postseason. They haven't played on this field in 3 weeks. And here is Gray, going to do a little slant pass. It's tipped first by Williams, and it's incomplete for Wilson, and it'll be 3rd down.
Ryan Haywood breaking on the ball that time. Wilson and Haywood kind of bumped shoulders as the ball arrived.
I tell you, they probably got away with it because the ball was tipped before it got there. Had the ball had not been tipped, he probably would have been flagged there.
As it is now, 3rd down and 6. Line of scrimmage is the Mount Carmel 46-yard line.
That's one thing the head referee looks for there in the offensive backfield. If he sees the ball's tipped, he'll immediately make a motion with his hands to tell the other officials the ball was tipped, which makes all the receivers live bait, if you will.
I like that terminology.
Live bait.
Billy Gray has receivers and wings split. Now fakes one way and gets rid of the pitch just before he's brought down. And Tully flagged down as Lewis eventually makes stop. Another flag flies late as the ball carrier dragged down to the Aces 43-yard line. Now 3 flags down on the field.
There's been a lot of extracurricular activity on both sides. I think this one's just going to be an honest clip, though, this time. Let's see it. Now, this will bring up either a 4th down and 4 in our territory, or do you move them back and bring up, 3rd and 21, I guess?
The clip was called against number 95. That was Steve Wilson. And that'll march Red Hill back.
So, yeah, they're going to take the penalty, will the Aces?
They'll put the marker at the 41-yard line. That brings up now a third down and about 20. We're down to 9:47 to go first half. Aces 14 and Red Hill nothing. Aces had 2 short scoring drives. One following a great punt return of 54 yards by Jed Casburn. And then one after the Aces jumped on a Red Hill turnover and had a very short drive for that, 20 yards. Now let's see what the Salukis do on third down. Gray's in the shotgun now with one setback, kind of a high snap. Gray grabs it with one hand now, wings it over here to the left side. The receiver wasn't looking for the ball, and it sailed out of bounds anyway. Brandon Tully wasn't even turned around at all, and it's incomplete, fourth down.
I think Gray thought Tully was running the out and up or the chair route, and Tully stopped it at the base of the chair. He didn't go to the out.
Saw that leg off of that chair.
He certainly did. And Billy Gray saying, "Hey, wait a minute here, Brandon. I thought you were supposed to run up the sideline on that one."
And now Wilson will do the punting. Aces are deep and around their own 20-yard line. Casburn and Wilson gets a line drive kickoff this time, and Williams will let it go. After taking a look at it at around the 12-yard line, it'll be down. So that's where Mount Carmel takes over again, deep in its own end of the field.
He can boot it. 50, 45, 42, and 47, his punts today. He's really helped keep the Red Hill Salukis in pretty decent field position by forcing the Aces deep in our own territory on most of our drives.
Would Wilson be leading the NFL this week in punting?
He'd be awful close.
I think he would be. Yes, he's awfully close to leading the NFL in punting.
He's no Jeff Gossett, though, Scott.
Old Eastern grad. Jeff is a good guy, though. First down and 10 now. And Rafferty calls the signals and hands off. Ball carrier over the left side to around the 15-yard line. And on the carry, Swanson for 3 yards, 2nd and 7.
Well, the Aces really felt they had to establish the fullback today to have a chance to win. They've done it so far. Justin Swanson, 7 carries for 36 yards.
Now 2nd down, Rafferty hands off. Ball carry this time. Gets 2 or 3 over the left side. And on the carry looks to be Casburn to around the 18-yard line. 3rd down, and they'll call it about 3 or 4. Aces lead it 14-0. Red Hill has had one solid scoring opportunity here today. They could not get it in and had a pass interference call wipe out a good scoring chance. There's a little quick hitter for Snow over on the left side, incomplete. Down the left sidelines, incomplete pass. Snow took a good hit over there, and it'll be 4th down.
Yeah, he took a good hit right up around the face mask. Could have easily drawn a flag. The officials elect not to.
So now the Aces will have to give it up here. And Snow will be standing at about his own 5-yard line when he delivers the kick. If the Aces win today, they will host the next round of the playoffs. Here's the kick by Snow, line driver, perhaps his best kick of the day. And it hits the deck and just plops its way towards out of bounds. I believe it made it at around the 45-yard line of Mount Carmel. So good start for Red Hill.
I tell you, ever since those first 2 quick touchdowns, both defenses have been stellar, really have kept the other opposing offenses in check, have not allowed a lot of yardage. Matter of fact, both teams, total-wise, have only been 4 first downs all afternoon. By both teams combined, 4 first downs. That's including the 2 touchdowns.
And Red Hill, over the last few minutes, has begun to turn the table of field position in its favor. First and 10 now, and here is Gray calling the signals, receivers and slots both ways, and Chris Allen gets away from one tackle and may have the first down as he continues to work his way inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. Berberick and Haywood there to bring him down after a 10-yard pickup.
Well, that may be our 5th first down of the ball game, and yeah, it's just enough to move the chains. Chris Allen.
Nice run that time by Chris Allen. He is a 5'9", 190-pound senior. We're down to 7:40 to go in the first half. Checking out wide to the left side is Joshua Hill. Wilson is the receiver to the right, and there are wings both ways as well for Gray. And he hands off. Oh, my, ball carrier managed to step out of Schneider's tackle. Nicely done that time by Allen. And he gets down inside the 35 to the 31-yard line, where it will now be 2nd down and 6 or 5.
Again, now you see Red Hill starting to establish the fullback, something we're trying to do as well. Eric McKinney now checks in at nose guard, I see.
Now checking out wide to the left side is Brant Powden. Now the Salukis going to shift back into the bone on 2nd and 5. Everybody's pulled in tight now. And Gray options. And will keep, turns it up, first down. He may score to the 15, 10, 5, touchdown. A wishbone option, and Billy Gray turned it over left end and was untouched from there. And that is a run of 30 yards for a touchdown. And Red Hill is on the board with 6:47 to go in the second quarter.
Well, I tell you what, he's just an athlete and a half there. Gray can do a lot of things. He gets in the open field. Rob, he's very, very, very dangerous.
I tell you what, Gabe Williams was out on an island that time. He was the only defender between the pitch man and Gray. He had to make a choice. He took the pitch man. Gray turned it up and goes 30 yards for the touchdown.
Now the Salukis are going to go for 2 now. It is 14-6. And they're going to pull everyone in, and back to the bone go the Salukis. Gray calls the signals. And options to the right. There's the ball's on the deck. Mount Carmel will pick it up, so that'll negate the conversion. So that one went awry, and Red Hill's left with 6, but a dandy run on the option by the quarterback, Billy Gray. Aces still lead Red Hill, though, 14-6. Back to Bridgeport in a moment.
Your Mount Carmel Dairy Queen Brazier backs the Golden Aces all the way. Dairy Queen is your home for hot eats and cool treats. Choose from single, double, or triple Brazier burgers, chicken strip baskets, chili dogs, and much more. And cool treats are what made DQ famous, from their dilly bars, ice cream sandwiches, and star kisses. Plus, don't forget to try a Dairy Queen Treats-A Pizza or ice cream cake for your next special occasion. There's nothing else like it. All this and more at Dairy Queen Brazier on West 3rd Street in Mount Carmel.
Kyle and Connie Day, owners of Corwin Printing Company, invite you to visit them at 1004 Landy Street in Mount Carmel. Corwin Printing is your quality printing specialist. Corwin produces calendars and other specialty items which are sure to fit your business advertising needs. Letterheads and envelopes, as well as desktop papers, ideal for laser printers, are among the items Corwin Printing specializes in. Corwin self-inking stamps can help make your job easier. If quick quality service is what you need, contact Corwin Printing at 263-3936.
Quick and convenient. That's the basis of the Apothecary Shop's drive-up window. When you don't feel like getting out of your car, simply call ahead, and the Apothecary Shop's friendly and helpful staff will have your order ready. The Apothecary Shop is the only pharmacy in Mount Carmel that offers this convenient service. The Apothecary Shop also offers friendly professional consultation on any side effects of medication your doctor may prescribe. In addition, they can help with any over-the-counter medications or remedies you might need. The Apothecary Shop, East 9th Street, Mount Carmel.
Kickoff retrieved by Casburn to the 20, 25, 30, and gets out of a leg tackle to the 36-yard line, and that's where Red Hill will take over. One of the Salukis appears to be hurt on the field on that kickoff return by the Aces, and we don't have a number on him yet. The officials call time, and Bill Evans will be coming on and his staff. And it is 23, Chris Allen, who has done a marvelous job running. 73, I'm sorry. It is 73, Ashley Ryan, who is injured, and they are helping him off the field very quickly. It is 1st and 10 for the Aces. Mount Carmel is out ready to go. They've got to wait until they get the player off the field, of course, and he is being assisted off. That is Ashley Ryan, who is injured on the kickoff.
Ashley Ryan, one of the top linemen for the Salukis. He's a full-time starter, so may be a big blow to the Aces or the Salukis front line.
And Swanson stays on his feet somehow and rolls across the 50-yard line.
Great leg drive that time by Justin, and once again, he's really become the consummate fullback, Rob.
He certainly has. I think he's seeing Chris Allen run so well, and he says, hey, I'm a fullback too. Watch me go, guys.
Actually, he rolled across the 45 to the 47, still a first down from there for the Aces. Casburn finds the going a lot tougher on that play, as Red Hill was able to react in time for him on a little inside trap to the right. To the 49 goes Casburn, 2nd down and 8.
Casburn just got tripped up. One of the defensive linemen for the Salukis able to make a pile, and Jed not able to leap over it.
And Rafferty calls the signals down, hands off the... Oh, my, another nice tackle as... on the play that time was Joshua Young. He wrapped up, to Swanson on the carry, gain of only 1. And it's 3rd and 8.
Josh Young is a big fella to try to block, 6'3", 220 pounds, and he just bursted through the line that time, makes a nice individual effort.
Now the line of scrimmage is the 49-yard line, and Rafferty calls the signals, backs up, wants to throw, has some time. No, now he's down.
Oh, ball.
And Red Hill has the ball. It's picked up by Joshua Young. He's going to score a touchdown. Holy on Rafferty and scored from 40 yards away. Wow, what a play, and Red Hill now is within 14 to 12. A wild play.
Well, once again, our receivers were covered. Defensive backs doing a nice job by Red Hill. On the sack, you know, Chris just lost the football, and good play by Red Hill.
I tell you something that really messed up that time for the Aces. Brandon Grant got knocked down trying to get out on the route. He was the primary receiver, and Chris had to double pump because Brandon was just getting up off the deck, and as he double pumped, it gave him just enough time to get in on him and force the fumble.
What a play by Joshua Young. Now the Salukis are going to go for 2. They pull it into the bone. They could tie the game here with this conversion. And here is Ryan trying to get in. No, that's Akers. And he can't quite make it. They kept his... It was Lance McNew grabbing his jersey, finally brought him down shy of the mark. What a wild play. A 40-yard fumble recovery touchdown for Joshua Young of Red Hill. And now the Salukis are within 2 with 5:32 to go in the first half. Aces 14, Red Hill 12. Back in a moment.
Security Bank is your bank for life, all your life, and for all your financial needs. And no matter how much your needs change, we'll always keep you moving in the right direction to get you safely where you want to be. We offer a full range of financial services, so we can do a lot for you now and in the future. From simple checking to good living loans for any reason, we're here to serve your financial needs every step of the way. Security Bank, your bank for life.
For a decade now, Pit Stop Services has served area drivers with dedicated service. Whether it's Pit Stop's famous Quick But Complete oil changes or Pit Stop's great deals on all-season radials from Michelin, Cooper, Remington, and others, Pit Stop Services has built its reputation on putting the customer first. Now Pit Stop is proud to offer ZZ Wheels. ZZ Wheels is the hottest look in wheels and features a patented interchangeable twist lock design to completely transform the look of your wheels in seconds. Drive a little, save a lot at Pit Stop Services.
Every day, in every kind of home, people discover the special pleasures of owning Palo windows. It's the ingenuity of 2 locks secured by a single handle, the promise of quality from the only company that tests windows right on the factory line to make sure they're airtight, and the thoughtfulness of a door that locks in 3 places for added comfort and security. Discover why Palo owners are so satisfied year after year after year.
For your free idea book, call 1-800-64-PALA.
Make your Thanksgiving dinner a breeze with a stop at Mount Carmel Red and White's Deli Bakery. Red and White will cook your complete Thanksgiving meal, including the turkey, dressing, mashed potatoes, gravy, and all the trimmings. Red and White's Bakery even takes the work out of your Thanksgiving dessert with fresh-made pumpkin pies, cakes, and cookies. This Thanksgiving, spend more time with your family and friends and less time in the kitchen. Let Red and White do the work. Red and White open 24 hours a day at 9th and Walnut.
Bridgeport, suddenly Red Hill has scored 12 unanswered points, and it's 14-12. Now Carmel, here's the kick. Gabe Williams watches it roll out of bounds and around the 8-yard line. Little pushing off the ball by 2 or 3 players at 2 different spots in the field, so the emotions are running high here. Let's go to the sidelines. Kevin Madden had a good view of that last play.
Scott, Chris just had all the time in the world to throw, and he just kind of double pumped, and like you guys said, just slipped out of his hands and picked up and run for a touchdown. Now it's important for the Aces to get this offense on track. If you take away the 2 short scoring runs, really this offense hasn't generated much so far in the first half. So it's important the Aces, psychologically at least, get something rolling on offense. The Aces were successful in taking the crowd out of the ball game with those 2 early scores, but the Red Hill fans back into it now.
And, boy, you get in the playoffs, and all of a sudden, special teams and breaks play huge parts in ball games.
Well, here we go again, men.
You know, the bottom line is we've got to be able to move the football consistently here, Rob.
Right. Yeah, you're exactly right. Ever since those first 2 scores, we really haven't done much with the football. Time for the offense to sustain a drive and maybe get some points on the board.
And here is a very high, wait a minute, the official, that flag down. Was Red Hill offsides?
They may have been offside yet again.
Because all of a sudden, as the kick is going downfield, the officials are waving their arms.
Well, we've seen how important field position has been in this ball game, and the Red Hills just burgered themselves with 10 yards worth of penalties on 2 straight kickoffs.
Well, all of a sudden, it was 14-0, and then all of a sudden, Red Hill has come back with a storm.
You just don't see that called very much anymore.
Yeah, you certainly don't. Normally, if it's anywhere close, they just let it go. At that time, they said that they were in front of the line before the ball was kicked, so now they're actually kicking from their own 30-yard line.
5:32 to go here in the first half, and Mount Carmel leads Red Hill 14-12, but the Salukis have just scored the last 12 points of the game. And as we saw in the first game between these two, they score ways Mount Carmel scores with breaks that they make themselves. Now there's a kick. It's a little bit shorter. It'll be taken by Ryan Peter at around the 35, 40, 44-yard line in the middle. That's where he is stormed under. And this game, there's a little more pushing off the ball a moment ago. Some tackling where it doesn't have to be on both sides. And this is going to be an interesting, emotional game in the second half if it stays close. First down and 10 for the Aces. Line of scrimmage is the 44-yard line of Mount Carmel.
Very important the Aces get some offensive production here. Sustain a drive even if you don't get any points. Prove that you can move the football when you need to.
And here is Rafferty. Here's the pitch to Casburn. Works the left side, and he's cut down after only about a yard. Another good tackle, and Red Hill is starting to make those on defense more and more and more. Gaining confidence with every play. And that time, nothing for the ball carrier. Second down.
We need to make a play here to get momentum swung back the other way. Right now, it's all Red Hill, and we need to get some momentum here as we head into the locker room halftime here.
They give us a gain of 1, actually. 2nd and 9, right at the 45. Rafferty wants to throw. Swings it out of the backfield for Casburn, and he goes out of bounds at around the where? The official marks him out at around the 48-yard line, so a gain of only 2 or 3 on the play. It's third down and about 5 or 6 for the Aces.
Well, in our first meeting on September the 13th, both quarterbacks threw for over 200 yards. We're not on pace to do that again this afternoon with either quarterback.
Now Rafferty swings one over here to Haywood. He was down. He was down on his knee when he caught the ball at the 50-yard line. That's only a gain of 2. Fourth down.
When it just had a ton of running room that time as well.
Yeah, Justin just had to kneel down, and the ball's just a little low. Probably could have made the catch without having to kneel down to one knee, but the official right on top of the play blows it dead after the catch.
And Snow backs up now to do the punting for the Aces on fourth down. He's back inside his own 40. Red Hill hasn't sent anybody. Finally, they send somebody on this particular punt. I'm waiting for him to do that. And this punt will roll dead at around the 21-yard line. That's where Red Hill takes over. Well, for the first time in their last 3 starts, they don't have particularly good field position.
Well, again, we'll see if our defense can make something happen here.
4 minutes and 13 seconds to go. It was all Mount Carmel for the first quarter, 14-0, but boy, has this game switched.
Aces defense, really, with the exception of the one long Billy Gray run, has done a great job of keeping Red Hill offense in check. Can they rise to the occasion again? You'd certainly like to get a stop here. Still 4 minutes to go in the first half. Try to get the ball back, see if you can't get a score in before you go to the locker room.
Mount Carmel took advantage of a Red Hill turnover for one of the touchdowns, and the Salukis have turned the tables and done exactly that on their last score, taking advantage of an Aces fumble. And there's Chris Allen diving to the right side. Allen is going to make the difference, too. He did not start the game back there. They didn't use him very much at first, but he's going to make the difference on their offensive attack. He gains about 3 there, second down. Call it 2, 2nd and 8. Line of scrimmage is the 24-yard line.
This is certainly turning into a Jim Dandy. Mount Carmel getting out of the gate quickly. Red Hill responding, showing some great character and class and keeping themselves in the ball game. And we have got ourselves a Jim Dandy here late in the first half.
Yeah, we're down to 3:40 to go here in the first half. Gray brings everybody in. Everybody pulls in tight. It's the wishbone set on 2nd and 8 now. And let's see who he picks out. He options to the left and will keep it himself. No, there's the pitch. And down the left sideline goes Akers. Was he over the line of scrimmage when he delivered that? Well, apparently not, say the officials.
I believe it was a lateral anyway, wasn't it?
It was a lateral anyway, so, that's right. It was a lateral anyway, you're right. He had him trailing, and it's a first down on the run by Akers at around the 36-yard line.
Boy, Gray, it's just, he gets out of an open field. He's got such a long stride, and he really does a nice job of vision and seeing what he's got in front of him. Great decision-making that time.
Again, we see Gabe Williams out on an island, forced to guard 2 people.
Aces called timeout, 3:25 to go in the first half. And let's go ahead and take a break. We'll be right back to Bridgeport in a moment. The Aces lead Red Hill 14-12.
Being very young, you face the unexpected, never concerned, knowing your security came from those who loved you most. Soon you took on more risks and started making decisions on your own. Now you're being counted on to help build a secure future, to protect you and your family from the unexpected. Depend on your hometown professional, your independent Pekin insurance agent.
Pekin Insurance.
Your Pekin Insurance agent in Mount Carmel is Mike Harris of Harris Insurance Agency.
For the professional electrical service that you deserve, call S.K. Smith Electrical Contractors. S.K. Smith has been providing the Wabash Valley region with commercial, residential, and industrial lighting for over 10 years. S.K. Smith also provides electrical service for farms and oil fields. Our trained and courteous technicians are always there for minor electrical repairs, troubleshooting, or even industrial wiring. Don't trust the safety of your family or co-workers to just anyone. Call S.K. Smith today. S.K. Electric, your fully bonded electrical contractors.
Since 1917, the place to be has been Guy Hadley's Cafe, uptown Mount Carmel. Hadley's lunch and dinner buffet always has something great to eat. Plus, Hadley's menu is packed with dozens and dozens of sandwich platters, full dinners, and appetizers. And while at Hadley's, be sure to try a slice of one of Dot's famous pies. For nearly 80 years now, there's been one constant in Mount Carmel, and that one constant is Guy Hadley's Cafe, where friends meet friends. Hadley's Cafe, 416 Market.
Choosing a cellular company can get confusing, but First Cellular of Southern Illinois makes your choice clear. First Cellular is the only individual cellular company to provide all 24 counties in Southern Illinois as true home coverage. At First Cellular, you'll receive value-added benefits at no additional charge, like 9-cent long distance, the lowest extended roaming rates, and 24-hour customer care. Plus, First Cellular is 100% locally owned and operated, so your money stays here in Southern Illinois. Visit First Cellular's Mount Carmel store today.
All right, it's 1st and 10 now. Red Hill on the attack here. Handoff. Ball carry bounces off 1, 2, 3. And finally is brought down and around the 43-yard line on the carry. That's Chris Allen.
Allen's been a busy young man this afternoon. 7 carries for some 35 yards.
And a gain of almost 7 there. Second down. Great crowd on hand here. Now Carmel's fans by the hundreds were lined up at 12 o'clock noon when the gates open. And they have been boisterous ever since. A bit quiet, though, here in the second quarter. Checking out wide to the left side is Hill. Wide right is Wilson. And Gray also has a wingback split. One setback on second down. And relatively short. Gray's going to air it out long down the right sidelines. And it is broken up by Haywood. Intended for Wilson. Haywood at inside position at around the 32-yard line.
Well, we put Ryan Haywood on their best receiver, Steve Wilson, all afternoon long, and the Salukis still choosing to try to throw at Wilson. He's a bit taller than Ryan by a couple of inches, a little bit bigger and stronger, but Ryan Haywood's such a good cover man. Breaks up yet another pass, his third pass breakup of the afternoon.
We're down to 2:39 to go in the first half, and Red Hill brings it up now, 3rd down and 4. Line of scrimmage is their own 42-yard line. Here is Gray. Everybody's in now for the bone. And Gray options to the left, turns it up, and is brought down shy of the marker. Aces on the stop include McNew and D. Maybe a gain of 1. It'll be 4th and 3.
Now down to 2:20 to play. They are going to be forced to punt, it looks like. Coach Evans has the punting team on, but with Coach Evans, you never know if he's going to punt it or not. They're in their own territory. You would think they'll kick it away and give us the ball with about 2 minutes to play.
Casburn drops deep for the Aces, back inside his own 25-yard line now. Timeout called by the Aces. Were we not set player-wise, personnel-wise on that play?
Well,
too many players on the field, reports Kevin, so we really weren't ready, and we had to waste a timeout. 2:07 to go here in the first half. Red Hill leads, Mount Carmel leads Red Hill 14-12, but Red Hill has scored the last 12 points of the game.
Well, we ought to get the ball in halfway decent field position. The actual line of scrimmage is the 44, so the punt will leave the foot of the punter at about the 30 or so. You would imagine a 45-yard punt out of Wilson, and let's see if Jed Casburn can work some more magic with a nice punt return, get that No huddle offense on the field. We'll have about 2 minutes worth of time to work with. Boy, it sure would be nice to get one more score in before you head to half.
Obviously, Rob, too, I mean, you've coached on, and you're on the staff here. Would you think about going to the wide side of the field with a wall, maybe a left return, or those kind of things? So all those things go in a mixture during a timeout.
Here is Wilson, high snap, and he gets the kick off. Sails for Gabe Williams. He's got it at the 20, 25, cuts back to the right side. Oh, he drops the ball. A fumble, and the Aces have it. D recovered it. Fumble ensued after Williams really was hit hard and lost the football at around the 35-yard line, but the Aces have it back. So it'll be 1st and 10.
Well, we're having a heck of a time holding on to the football today. That is our 6th fumble of the afternoon. Now, luckily, we've only lost 3 or 2 of them, but that's our 6th fumble of the afternoon already.
And here we were chortling last week. We heard El Dorado had fumbled 7 times early against Red Hill last week in the playoffs. Swanson bangs his way forward to around the 38-yard line, a gain of 3, 2nd down and 7. Here comes Fisher into the game. 1:44 to go here in the first half. So Fisher's going to join the backfield.
He's in for Keepus. Looks like we're going to overload the line here on the right side, and that's what we do. Snow, Burbick, and Steckler and Grant all on the right side of the football.
And Fisher there for added security. He leads the way, and Swanson gets about a yard. And that brings up 3rd down and 6.
Now, 1:15 to play. It'll be 3rd and about 6.
So this new set hasn't exactly wowed him yet today, huh?
See how the Aces play this. I see we go with 2 wide receivers this time and 2 slots. See if we put it in the air.
Snow and Lovelace are the wide receivers. It's 3rd down, and Rafferty's back to do some throwing. He fires over the middle, and it's caught. Oh, great catch by the tight end, McNew. He's shaken up as he's brought down. Oh, my, what a catch. He had the wind knocked out of him at around the Red Hill 41-yard line.
What a catch by Brandon Grant that time. Yeah, right over the middle. Held on. He knew he was going to take the hit, caught it in his hands, and what a great catch. But, boy, there's a nice hard hit as well.
53.9 seconds to go, and Grant really took a hit. Oh, man, now he's down on the deck, and they're looking at him over here on the sidelines. It'll be 1st down for the Aces.
Well, I think Robbie got it in the lower back there. He's kind of fully extended and was hitting the lower back. And, boy, when you bend yourself in a way backwards, he's not the most flexible kid either. So I'm sure he'll be okay.
He's getting up and looks to be going off under his own power. We certainly would like to keep him in the lineup. Lance McNew is our backup tight end. Lance has played defense all year. He has played no offense yet to this point. So we certainly would like to get Brandon back into the game at some point.
So it'll be 1st and 10 now for the Aces. Line of scrimmage is the Red Hill 41-yard line. Let's see if we can put something in here before halftime. Now Carmel leads it 14-12. Snow checks out wide to the left side. Here comes Keepus into the game now. Rafferty comes up to the line. And the ball's loose. Red Hill's got the ball. Rafferty was hit just as he was going to deliver the handoff, and the ball laid on the deck, and it was recovered by Jake Harrison. Another Aces fumble, and Red Hill has the ball.
Boy, you hate to talk about it, but that is our 7th fumble of the afternoon. We have put it on the deck 7 times so far, and we're just in the first half.
So Red Hill has the ball now with a chance to take the lead. 39.9 seconds to go here in the first half.
They got the ball in a big play offense. They've got plenty of time. They have to go 59 yards for a touchdown, and believe me, if anyone could do it, it would be this Red Hill ball club.
And here is Gray. He sends Tully in motion to the right. And on a counter back to this side, ball carrier went nowhere and incurred a loss on the play. Akers dropped by Berberick and D. Back at around the 40-yard line, it will be 2nd and 11. Timeout Red Hill with 32.9 seconds to go. We'll keep it here. Red Hill with a chance now to take the lead before the end of the first half.
Well, with Coach Evans, he may just dig deep in that bag right now, Rob, and defensive backs stay deep. And, you know, the last time we sit in the same situation time-wise, what did we see? A double pass?
Right.
And, I mean,
Wilson
hook and ladder. I mean, we've seen it all here. So it's hard telling what we're seeing being drawn up right now.
Coach Evans known for his bag of tricks, and I'm certain he'll have something up his sleeve here with still almost 33 seconds to play. Still plenty of time for Red Hill to march the ball down the field. And remember, they got a pretty good kicker in Wilson. I mean, he can boot it. They could get him in field goal range, and they could take the lead because of the good leg that is on Steve Wilson.
So it will be 2nd down and 12 here. And here comes Red Hill to the line. Let's see what they're going to do. They have receivers out left and right. Gray is in the shotgun. And here's the snap. He has some time. Now fires over here in a short pattern through the hands of Tully and incomplete over here on the left flats. And it'll be 3rd down.
That one very catchable. Billy Gray really having a tough time today. 1 of 11 for 8 total yards. That's it. That one, though, very catchable. Tully just dropped it.
Now, if you're Red Hill, you're saying, wait a minute. We're in the game with Mount Carmel at halftime, and our quarterback has had that lack of success? Wow. Let's hope he doesn't catch fire. It's 3rd down and 12. Line of scrimmage is the 39-yard line, and we're down to 28.1 seconds to go in the half. Gray returns to the line. He's going to pull everyone in.
Full wishbone.
Into the wishbone on 3rd and 12, and let's see what he does here. He options and gets by 1. Now he's got some running, a flag down, and Gray is near the marker. 2 flags fly. Now, of course, a 3rd for good measure. Why not?
Yeah, I think you're going to have a hold out there on the perimeter.
And now another flag well after the play was just thrown. A 4th flag. I don't know if that is anything, a personal foul after the play or what. Let's see what they're going to call here.
And talking to Aces captain Aaron Burbrick. So we're going to move him back.
No other call. And why in the world the one guy throws flag down? This isn't Congress. Even though I don't know what that comment meant either. 20.2 seconds to go. Back to the 30-yard line go the Salukis. It'll be 3rd down and 22 to go. So the penalty against the Salukis knocks him back. Let's see what they do here. Receivers left and right. Everyone is split. And here is Gray with 1 setback. Hands off. Ball carrier fights for running room. DeVoe and D drag him down at around the 37-yard line. Chris Allen still 13 yards away from the 1st down, and they may let the clock go at this point. We're down to 7-6-5, and that's where the first half will end. And it's been a tale of 2 cities in this ball game. Mount Carmel jumped to a 14-0 lead, but Red Hill has come on in the 2nd quarter. And at halftime of the 2nd round of the Class 3A playoffs, here in Bridgeport, your score, Mount Carmel 14 and Red Hill 12. We'll be back with a summary in just a moment.
Electric wires are too high to touch.
Not. Overhead wires are insulated.
Not. Wood does not conduct electricity. Not. What you don't know can hurt you.
Take care around electricity.
Tired of the same old room? Want something new and different? Call Carl Berber Construction. Carl Berber Construction has been in the business of building and remodeling for over 30 years. Looking for new cabinets for your kitchen? Berber Construction can custom build your cabinets and install them for you. Wanting to change a garage to a family room or wanting more space? Needing to add a room? Call KB Construction and they can give you the look you've been waiting for your home or business. KB Construction 298-2421, a proud ACES sponsor.
Tuesday through Friday mornings, join WCJ TV 12 News Director Dan Ballard for a look at the Morning 12 News. Dan will bring you news, weather, and sports for Mount Carmel and Wabash County. We'll also have a look at lunch menus for you as well. That's Tuesday through Friday mornings, the Morning 12 News at 7 a.m. on Channel 12.
Committed to quality. It's a pretty simple statement, but at Wabash General Hospital it means so much more. Committed to quality is Wabash General's promise to stay abreast of modern medical treatment and technology, provide kind and compassionate care, and maintain the high standards of medical excellence that the community expects and deserves. Wabash General provides modern medical technology, a highly skilled staff, and a commitment to our community to offer quality, compassionate care close to home. That's Wabash General Hospital, Mount Carmel.
Mount Carmel will get the ball first to begin the 2nd half. The Red Hill Saluki fans and players exhorting the fans to come to their feet as they get out on the field, ready to kick it off. These Red Hill Salukis were as tough as anyone we'd seen in week number 3 of the season, and I'll be darned if they aren't the toughest team we've seen again here in the second round of the playoffs.
Well, we talked how much improved the Golden Aces were here in the second half of the season. It certainly looks like Red Hill has improved as well and made the most out of their last few games preparing for the playoffs.
And we had heard Red Hill had gotten away from what made them successful, and now we're returning to it. Well, apparently that absence hasn't hurt them at all. They've returned to their form just like nothing had happened.
Now Carmel will get the football to start the second half, so that's good news. Let's get that offense on the field and see if we can stop those 7 fumbles we had in the first half. Those have been real killers. 7 fumbles, 3 of them lost, and they've really led to all 3 of the fumbles have led to Red Hill points in some way or another.
We note that Brandon Grant, who made a sensational catch in the first half and then was shaken up, is back. He is out on the field right now, so that's a good sign too. He can make the catches, can he? We'll need him in the second half as well. All right, it is Williams and Casburn deep for the Aces, back at around their own 10-yard line. And here comes the kick. It bounces past the first line and past Schnarry. It was down by Ryan Peter at around the 28-yard line. So that's where the Aces take over on their first possession of the second half.
Peter, not a return man, basically just fell on the ball and said, let's get the offense out here and let them work some magic.
After the way we fumbled the ball around in the first half, do you notice he didn't even attempt anything? Just grab it and protect it. Now here comes Chris Rafferty. 1st and 10 Aces. Sends one man in motion. Casburn, the first scrimmage play of the second half. There's a pitch a little bit behind Casburn, and that slowed him up, and Red Hill stopped him at around, well, for a loss on the play, too, back at around the 25-yard line. We haven't had very good pitches today, and there was another bad one.
A little bit behind Jed that time, and that allowed the Saluki defense to make a play.
2nd and 15 after the loss. Now Jed in motion. Rafferty wants to throw the ball now. Fires, and incomplete for Keepus. I'm not sure if somebody didn't touch that ball. Rafferty was decked as he delivered anyway, and it's 3rd down.
Well, you certainly hate to see the offense come in and go 3 downs and out. You would like to establish something here to start the second half. Always important to get out of the locker room in the second half on a positive note.
Here comes Rafferty to the line, 3rd and long, backs up, wants to throw, and fires, and it's intercepted by Red Hill, by Tully at around the 30-yard line. Now down to the 28. He stepped in front of the intended receiver, Grant, and picked off the pass, and Red Hill has the first big break of the second half.
Well, the streak comes to an end at 88 passes. I jinxed him. I apologize, Chris. 88 straight passes without an interception, but Brandon Tully steps up and makes the big play that time.
Wow, a 6-week, a part of 7-week string comes to an end. And now Red Hill has a great start now. 1st and 10 from the Aces' 29-yard line. Here is Gray. He hands off. Allen refuses to be brought down. Finally is dropped. And let's see, McKinney in there on the stop. And Mark Fisher as well, a gain of 1, 2nd and 9.
Again, Red Hill trying to establish that fullback early. If you can establish the interior running game, that gives you more options on the perimeter, and that's what Red Hill's been doing a good job of so far this afternoon. Allen, the leading ball carrier, 9 carries for 43 yards for the Salukis.
Early in the 3rd quarter, Rafferty just threw an interception. Red Hill with the ball. It is 2nd and 9 from the Aces' 28-yard line. And one man in motion, that is Akers, and Gray swings it out this way on a pass for Wilson. He's got it. Now tries to get by 1, 2, and almost gets away from Gabe Williams, who stayed with him, though, and brings him down at around the 25-yard line.
Just great individual effort. I didn't mean to interrupt you there, Scott. Great individual effort that time by Steve Wilson. Another one of those big athletic kids they have. You know, he's one of those defensive ends where he and the young kid look like bookends out there. He's got good, quick feet, great hands.
6'2", 210 pounds, runs like a deer. He's the complete package at wide receiver.
And if he would have stepped away from Gabe, he might have scored. 3rd down and 5. Line of scrimmage is the Aces 24. Gray sets the club down with 1 setback. Now Akers in motion from wing right to left. And Gray options to the left. Turns it up himself. It looks like he'll get the 1st down. And he's finally run down. Williams and Peter over there, but a 1st down by the quarterback to around the 18-yard line. Gain of 7 First and 10, Red Hill.
Billy Gray, they've been experiencing some success with the option there in the second quarter, now early in the third. And Gray, again, he's so athletic, runs so well, it's tough to defend when he gets to running that option. Ace is going to have to shut that thing down.
9:48 to go, third period. Hill goes wide left, Wilson wide right. And it's one setback in the backfield now. That is Allen. Now Tully gets the call from wing left. He's chopped down. Nicely done by Gabe Williams at around the 17. Maybe a gain of 1.
Gabe Williams from the strong safety position comes up. Nice low tackle. Takes the legs out from underneath Tully.
In fact, no gain by the ball carrier. Second and 10 now. Line of scrimmage to the 17-yard line. Mount Carmel leads Red Hill 14-12, but Red Hill has scored the last 12. Now they're bidding to take the lead for the first time. Howden checks wide to the left side. And Wilson goes wide to the right. Now one man in motion. And Gray calls, rolls to the right. He's tucked. It looks like he wants to run all the way. And he gets to the right side to the 10, to the 5. He gets in. Looks like a touchdown. It is. Red Hill has the lead as Billy Gray tiptoed the sidelines and scores from 17 yards away. And Red Hill leads.
Billy Gray, again, big and strong, able to bust out a couple tackles, and now the Salukis are in front thanks to 17 yards from Billy Gray.
Well, that was a quarterback keep all the way, Scott. He took the snap and tucked it under, and away they went.
Yeah.
Looking at the wide receiver out there, Wilson, he's blocking from the start. That was a set play all the way.
Yeah, he advertised that, but the problem is, one thing's to know he's doing it, and one thing's to stop him.
Yep.
He is something, isn't he? 18-14 Red Hill. Now the Salukis go for 2. And this is important as well. Here's Akers in motion from right to left, and Gray options that away. Looks like he wants to keep it. He's going to go for the corner of the end zone. He makes it. He did it again. Billy Gray, a one-man wrecking crew here for Red Hill. And the Salukis lead Mount Carmel 20-14 here with 8:51 to go in the third quarter. Back to Bridgeport in just a moment.
In Wabash County, people know where to go for first-class banking. The Bank of Mount Carmel, an independent, community-owned institution with a time-honored tradition of excellent service. People know the Bank of Mount Carmel is a full-service bank, offering its customers the best and flexible loans, free checking, even trust services. And visiting Bank of Mount Carmel is always a pleasure because their employees are knowledgeable and courteous. If you haven't already, you should get to know the friendly folks at Bank of Mount Carmel at the corner of 6th and Market Street, Mount Carmel, Illinois.
Since being very young, you faced the unexpected, never concerned, knowing your security came from those who loved you most. Soon you took on more risks and started making decisions on your own. Now you're being counted on to help build a secure future, to protect you and your family from the unexpected. Depend on your hometown professional, your independent Pekin insurance agent.
Pekin Insurance.
Your Pekin Insurance agent in Mount Carmel is Mike Harris of Harris Insurance Agency.
Kiefer Brothers Construction is proud to announce they are now a Star Building System dealer. If you're planning on building a new building, plan on talking to Kiefer Brothers Construction. They have beautiful solutions to your building problems, like helping you choose the Star Building System that will give your building the distinctive image you're looking for, from colonial to contemporary, with brick, glass, stone, or other accent materials. A building system that will meet your exact requirements. They can put your business in business fast. Call Kiefer Brothers Construction today at 262-5108.
Mount Carmel High School students, you don't have to go deep for the best selection and savings on class rings. Just march down the field to Gottman's Custom Jewelry, 422 Market. Gottman sells exclusive art-carved class rings with dozens of classic styles and modern designs. Personalize your ring with hundreds of options at no extra cost. Plus, check out Gottman's selection on gold change and Seiko and Citizens watches. So don't wait for the 2-minute warning. Get to Gottman's Jewelry for your art-carved class ring, gold and diamond jewelry, watches, and giftware today. Gottman's Custom Jewelry, 422 Market Street, Mount Carmel.
Back in Bridgeport, it is Red Hill with the lead now for the first time. They lead Mount Carmel 20-14, and it's getting to be Meiser men time now for the Aces as Red Hill kicks off. They have scored 20 straight points on us. That ball bounces away from Marcotte on the kick. It's picked up by Williams, though, and he rolls to around the 40-yard line. Mount Carmel takes over from there, 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line, and some pushing again off the ball.
Well, I'll tell you, if you think that this isn't a big game for Red Hill, I mean, half their kids shaved their heads this week, and I get, you know, they've got a situation where they may do the same to their head coach on a win. I mean, they've really typed this thing up and talked it up big.
And there is Swanson with a carry, galloping over the right side to around the 43-yard line. Again, tough going for the Aces running backs today. It is 2nd and 7. Oh, yeah, the moms and the dads are waving the flags and everything here. It's just a wild scene here in Bridgeport. And the Aces looked a little bit stunned as to the developments a moment ago. Now, Swanson over the right side to around the 37-yard line.
Yeah, no need for the Golden Aces offense to panic here. Just get yourself a sustained drive. Stay with your game plan. Stay in the ball game. Still plenty of time. We're just early into the 3rd quarter.
And here is Rafferty handing off Swanson. First down over the 40 to over the 50 to around the 45-yard line. And so the Aces have a first down, and that's a little bit of a sustained attack. The problem with getting that sustained attack is we haven't had one all day. Now, maybe we're in the process of putting a drive together here in response. 1st and 10, line of scrimmage is the Red Hill 45, and over the right side goes Casburn to the 42, gain of maybe 3, 2nd down.
It looks like the Golden Aces, Rick, has said, we're going to run it right up your throat, get ready. We're going to sustain a running game. Let's get after it.
Here's Kevin Madden on the sidelines.
Guys, that first down, the first Mount Carmel first down in their last 5 series.
And there is Casburn shuffling to the right side. He goes helmet to helmet and is brought down at around the 39-yard line, but we have a face mask perhaps, right?
Yeah, I believe I see Brandon Grant pointing at the opponent, and that's what it is. That's a big penalty for the Salukis. What a huge play it is for Mount Carmel. That's be a 15-yarder.
It would have been about 2nd down and 4. Now it's going to be a first down for the Aces, and they'll mark this one all the way down to the Red Hill 24-yard line. 15 yards. First down. Big break for the Aces. 7:24 to go. Quarter number 3. Rafferty sets the club down. Did we overload the line again here to the right side? And there is a handoff back to the left side. Comes Fisher. This away, goes to around the 20, pounds his way for 4 yards, 2nd down.
Big Mark Fisher, first time we've seen him carry it this afternoon, and he just bowls his way over the left side. And we went to that unbalanced line again, Rick, and this time to the right side.
And now Rafferty hands off, and Swanson almost went through before the handoff. He still gets a couple of yards, powering his way to the 17. We look a little crisper on offense now, don't we?
Well, I'll tell you what. One thing about John Hart, when times get going tough, I've seen the last 3 years, let's just strap it up, and we're going to come at you.
It's not 3rd and 8 anymore now. It's 3rd and 4. But still, though, that time the ball carrier repelled shy of the first down marker, and Swanson will be about a yard away, stopped at around the 15-yard line.
He'll be just short of the marker. It's going to bring up a 4th and about 1 yard. What a huge 4th down this is for both teams.
Guess who we're going to run over, fellas?
It is 4th down, and here the crowd is roaring. Rafferty keeps himself and dives for the first down on the quarterback keeper to the 12-yard line. A gain of 3 by Raff and a first down for the Aces, and the drive continues.
Well, again, John's just going to go right back to, hey, we've got a good weight program. We're bigger, we're stronger, and we're just going to run right at you.
It has taken a real scare for us to get a sustained drive together. Here's Casburn scooting outside. He may get in, but a flag down. A flag is down. He did cross the end zone, but it looks like a flag down. Looks like it's against the Aces.
Might be holding against Mount Carmel. It seems to be the preliminary indication. Some holding on that right side. And that's what it is. Only our 3rd penalty of the game, 25 total yards and penalties, although that's a very big penalty that time, as we would have had a touchdown or at least very close to one. Now we're backed up slightly to about our own 20 or to the Red Hill 22.
So the Aces have to go to around the 2-yard line. It is now 1st and 20. We're at 6:02 to go, 3rd quarter.
Keep it jacked up here, fellas. Let's go.
Yeah, you might as well. I mean, you're successful with what you're doing. Just keep running it right at them.
And here is Rafferty, hands off Casburn, shuffles to the right side, and gets a few inside the 20 to around the 18-yard line. Gain of about 3, maybe 4, 2nd down. 2nd down and about 16 to go. Rafferty back quickly after the no huddle. Hands off. Swanson is stacked up on the line and around the 17. Nicely done by Red Hill. And it'll be 3rd and 15. So now we find the going a little bit tougher after that 15-yard penalty gave Red Hill a little life on defense.
Loveless now into the game, so we went with a 2 wideout set, both Loveless and Snow. We're obviously in 2-down territory here.
Rafferty may go to the air on this play. Let's see if he does. Fakes both ways. Looking to his left. That's where Loveless is. He keeps himself now and runs to the 15-yard line and maybe inside that mark to around the 12 before he's finally stopped over there. That'll still leave the Aces about 10 yards shy of the first down, and it'll be 4th down.
Rafferty, nobody open that time. Justin Loveless was well covered out here running the flag pattern, or the comeback, I should say, and Chris Wisely just turned it up, got what he could. Now we're looking at a 4th and 11 with a ball on the 12. We can't get a first down without scoring.
Rafferty sends Loveless wide left, Snow wide right. He rolls to the right, does Raffin. Looking that way. Fires it up for the end zone for Snow, and it's out of bounds. Snow leaps high for the catch. Did he catch that ball after all that? He actually did catch the ball, but it was out of bounds. What a catch by Snow. Too bad it doesn't count for anything. In fact, Red Hill has a first down, and let's go to the field. Here's Kevin Madden.
Guys, a great goal line stand-up time by Red Hill, but of course they got some big help by the penalty. It was a touchdown by Casburn, but of course it was wiped out by the penalty. Now the Aces defense need to suck it up. They cannot afford to give up a score here as we're under 5 minutes of play in the third quarter. But a big stand by the Red Hill defense after they let Mount Carmel march down the field.
All right, Red Hill has Steve Wilson checked out wide to the right side and Potter to the left, and there's a handoff, inside handoff. And a lot of tough sledding that time for who ended up with the ball. Is that Allen?
I believe the fullback, Allen.
Yep, Allen on the carry. Maybe, well, they didn't give him any. Second down at 10, line of scrimmages, the 12, now the 13-yard line. They did give him a gain of 1.
If you're Red Hill, you certainly want to double wrap the football. You don't need a turnover down here deep in your own territory. Meanwhile, if you're Mount Carmel, boy, how big a turnover would be here. Get the ball in great field position. Aces need to stop on defense regardless.
Hill goes wide left, Wilson wide right. And Gray looks, calls the signals, and hands off, and there is Akers working to the left. These flags fly, and Akers is stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a loss on the play to around the 11-yard line.
Came from a line judge on the far side. Usually that's a clip or a hold by the offense.
Preliminary signal is against Red Hill, and it is holding against the Salukis.
Salukis really killing themselves with penalties. 7 penalties for 80 yards today total for Red Hill. A lot of those has been 15 and 10-yarders. They're adding up in a hurry for the Red Hill team.
You notice Gray has had the presence of mind over the last few plays to make sure he uses up all the clock before he starts the play. While his team is ahead, he's made sure to utilize the clock as well.
Yeah, but, you know, I'm not sure that's a really good mentality yet, Scott. I mean, you've got a lot of the game. We're only, what, 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. There's a lot of game left, and to become a little conservative now and not keep attacking, maybe that's a good sign for us.
Yeah, the walk-off takes Red Hill back to their own 7-yard line, and it'll be second down and about 15, 16 to go. Hey, you could see him taking his time a couple of times out there as he gets up under center. Now let's see what he does on second and long. Gray has receivers and flankers both ways. One setback now. Tully in motion to the right. And Gray options that way. Williams tries to shoot through, slows him up, and he's brought down at the 2-yard line.
What a play by Gabe Williams. Yep. He took on the lead blocker, knocked him out of the way, forced Gray to belly back a little, and that allowed the rest of the troops to get there. What a great play by Gabe Williams. A great individual effort.
Gabe's just so tough to block, too, Rob. His center of gravity is so low. I mean, he's just tough to get a body on, get a clean shot on.
And Red Hill's gone to that Gray option keeper in these kind of situations too many times in this half, and the Aces were ready for it this time. That brings up a third and very long now, 3rd and 20. The line of scrimmage is the 3-yard line. Let's see what Gray does here. He sends Tully in motion to the right, gives him the pitch. Now the reverse, and running in the end zone, and out of the end zone is Akers to the 5 and to the 10. He's still on his feet. He may go, oh my! He's down the left sidelines, and he's going to score all the way. Holy mackerel! He is going to score a touchdown. He ran into the end zone and out of the end zone and ran all the way down the field and scored a touchdown for Red Hill. And it is 26-14. Red Hill, a 97-yard run. But when he took the handoff off on the reverse. He was in the end zone. Can you believe it?
I'll tell you what.
Let's go to the sidelines.
Guys, when that play started to shape up, I thought, what a stupid play to be running a reverse in your own end zone. Well, how stupid is it now? 97 yards later. Can you believe that? Akers should have been tackled 3 or 4 times on this far side, well short of the first down. I think some of the Aces thought he was wrapped up and just gave up on him, and by that time, he was down the sideline.
I have never seen a play like that ever. 2:28 to go. Here's the point after try, and it is good. Unbelievable. Never have we seen a play like that. 97 yards.
I'll tell you what, that takes a lot of guts to make a call like that in your own end zone when you're up 4 points, fellas. That takes guts. And what a call. What a call. I mean, either way, what a call.
Right.
That is something out of a storybook, that play, and Red Hill has a huge lead now, 27-14. I guess we'll keep it here. Just overcome by the breadth of that play. We've never seen anything like it. He was in the end zone 5 or 6 yards deep as he swept around after taking the reverse. Unbelievable.
Man, what an individual effort by Akers to avoid all the tackling and somehow race down that sideline. 97 yards. What a play.
I tell you, that's such a long developing play. Too great block that time by the wideout on the left side of the field. I don't know the number, but boy, he did a great job that time.
I mean, it was amazing. He didn't go out of bounds. It's amazing we didn't push him, anything. And then he got ahead of everybody by about the 50, and you knew he was going to score. Right down the left side. That's the most amazing play I think I've ever seen from an opponent in a Mount Carmel game.
Well, when was the last amazing play you saw, Scott? Huh?
It was
Come on.
What could have been
Third week of the season, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's the same team. By golly, these Red Hill Salukis, they're unbelievable. Okay, here's a kick. We've got our work cut out for us, don't we? Here's Williams. He retrieves it on the bounce of the 22, 25, 30, 35, and he's cut down at the 36-yard line. Red Hill leads Mount Carmel 27-14 with 2:24 to go. And keep this in mind, they've scored 27 straight points. 2:24 to go in the third quarter. We led 14-0 minutes into the game and have not scored since.
Well, again, plenty of time here. 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. The Aces offense, every series now very important to get some points and some production out of your offense.
Here is Swanson to the right side, cut down after a yard or two at the 39-yard line. Gain of 2, second down. Well, if Red Hill goes on to win this game, they will remember that play. They will talk about that play for decades to come.
Well, this game's a long way from over, fellas. We got 10 more minutes, 12 more minutes of football here. We got a long way to go.
Second down and 8, and Rafferty gives the pitch to Casburn. A little better pitch this time. Jed over the right side to around the 44-yard line. Gets about 5 on the play. And it is now third down.
And last time we had the football, we did move the football, Rob, which is a great sign. So, hey, this is going to be a wild one here.
Yeah, remember, we scored a touchdown last time, but it was nullified because of the penalty. So we have moved the ball.
And here's Swanson over the left side, over the middle, breaks free to the 40, and he's tripped up, or he might have been able to get much further down the field, but still a first down run by Swanson to the Red Hill 40-yard line. Swanson, who really had a great game last week, 150-some-odd yards.
154, yeah.
Against Carlisle. Here is Rafferty. Here's the pitch to Casburn with Steckley leading the way. Casburn finally swarmed under it around the 35. Gain of 5 or 6 on the play. And that brings up second down. We're down to 1:15 to go in the third period.
Again, the Aces offense moving the ball consistently here in the second half. That's a good sign.
27-14, Red Hill leads. Rafferty gives the pitch to Casburn, and he goes towards the first down marker. He goes out of bounds at around the, let's see where they're going to mark him, at around the 32. He's going to be a yard or so shy of the first down. It'll be third now for the Aces.
Third and very short from Mount Carmel, still in 4-down territory with the ball on the 31 of Red Hill, although you'd certainly like to see the first down here so you don't have to worry about having to go for it on 4th down.
Now, Lovelace checks out wide to the left, Snow wide right. Rafferty calls and hands off to Swanson. He has the first down and then some across the 30 inside that mark to around the 28-yard line. A gain of about 4 for Swanson and a first down. So the drive continues and the Aces are just powering it down the field. Clock stops while they move the chains. We're only down to 56 seconds to go in the third quarter. But the Aces are down by 2 touchdowns. And here is Casburn. He is knocked out of bounds. Nope, he stayed in bounds inside the 30 down to around the 28-yard line. How about the 24-yard line? And second down at about 7 to go for the Aces. We're down to 36 seconds to go in the third quarter.
3 times in this series, we went to the quick pitch to the short side of the field to Jed Casper.
And here's Rafferty back to throw. He's chased out of the pocket and dropped for a sack. And there's a fumble on the play. Well, they're unstacking. The Aces got it back. But a loss on the play now creates a 3rd and 9 for the Aces as they now are back at the Red Hill. What are we at, the 26?
Not sure we'll get one off here.
We're down to 5, 4, 3. Rafferty does in time. Back to throw. Appears to have time. Wings it for the right side. It's caught by Snow at the 10-yard line. First down at around the Red Hill 11. He's knocked out of bounds. That ends the third quarter. We've played 3 periods here in Bridgeport, the second round of the Class 3A playoffs. It is Red Hill 27, Mount Carmel 14. Back in a moment.
Security Bank says we're your bank for life. We mean it. No matter where you are in your life, we're ready to help. With a full spectrum of banking, investment, lending, and trust services, we can do a lot for you now and in the future. Plus, we can provide the resources and guidance that suit your particular financial needs and plan. It's no wonder so many people have been our valued customers for so many years. Because at Security Bank, we're committed to being your bank for life.
Robert Walters Furniture Company has been serving the Wabash County area since 1868. At Robert Walters, you'll discover unbeatable prices every day store-wide on the furniture designs that you desire. We carry a complete line of quality name-brand furniture that will delightfully fill any home. At Robert Walters Furniture, we take pride in working with our customers by offering 0% interest for 1 year and a convenient layaway plan. Visit Robert Walters Furniture in downtown Mount Carmel, where shopping is made easy.
Looking for the ideal location on your next home? Your search is now over. Greenbrier is a unique single-family residential subdivision developed by Jim Fry and Larry Tedford. Greenbrier is located in the 2000 block of College Drive and consists of 23 parcels nestled on 8 rolling acres near Wabash Valley College. All lots contain at least 12,000 square feet. Each site offers concrete sidewalks, city water, sewer, electricity, natural gas, and cable TV. For more information, contact Mundy Real Estate Agency at 263-3131 or 262-7496.
Not 1, but 2 quarter-pound beef patties. 3 slices of melted cheese. 8 strips of crispy bacon. They say the world is getting smaller, but what's really happened is that the burger has gotten bigger. Introducing the Monster Burger, only from Hardee's. What will they think of next? Breakfast, as in the Monster Omelette Biscuit, with plenty of ham, bacon, and cheeses.
Back in Bridgeport, we begin the fourth quarter. Mount Carmel, the ball 1st and 10 from the 10-yard line of Red Hill. And Swanson dives for the end zone. A flag down, though. A flag down. Swanson almost tripped up at the line of scrimmage, dove forward and got down to around the 2-yard line.
It came again from the far linesman. It may have been on one of our wide receivers or tight ends holding in the interior. That's about the only play the line judge can see.
Well, this isn't going to happen again, is it? The penalty wiped out our last drive.
I believe it's on them.
Well, let's hope it is. And
nope.
Now pitch on Mount Carmel. Shot block on the Aces. John Hart out on the field, wanting the attention of, I guess, the official, right?
Yeah, I think he got the direction wrong.
Okay. It is against Red Hill then? Yeah, it would almost have to be. Well, not necessarily.
I'm not exactly sure. They're moving down inside the 5. Now the officials discussing.
So they at least heard what John had to say. Now they're wanting to find out if maybe that's what happened.
I believe he chopped Craig out there.
I think that's right.
It is holding now on Red Hill.
Well, he's chopped him, but they have to call it a hold because that's the only signal the official has to use. But,
yeah, there's no.
That's exactly what he did. He dove in there at Craig's knees.
There's no defensive chop block. It's
Let me
not
put these headphones down. I'll be right back.
Yeah,
you don't think
Craig's taking a beating out there today, isn't he, Coach? Yeah, he is, and they're kind of going after him a little bit. We're 6 seconds into the fourth quarter now. It is 2nd down and 1 for the Aces. The line of scrimmage is the Red Hill 3. Aces down by 2 touchdowns now as we begin the fourth quarter. Now Rafferty sets the club down. Fisher's in the backfield. There's Swanson into the middle. He didn't make it. He's down to around the 1, maybe not even there. And it will be third down. He doesn't have a first down yet either.
No, yeah, now you're looking at a third down and about 1, and you're about 1.5 yards from the goal line, so you can conceivably get a first down without scoring here.
Rafferty sets the club down and keeps himself and plunges in for the touchdown. Rafferty on a 2-yard quarterback keeper makes it 27-20 with 11:22 to go in the game, and the Aces have now scored for the first time since the first, 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, and that's a huge touchdown because now you're back within 1 score, and still, as Rick alluded to, plenty of time remaining in the game, 11:22 still to play.
And now we'll go for 2. Rafferty sets the club down and hands off. Casburn is chopped down shy of the end zone, so it's a 7-point ball game with 11:22 to go in the game. Red Hill 27, Mount Carmel 20. We'll be back to Bridgeport in a moment.
90 years of service to the community for any business is impressive, but when you consider a bank that's been around for 90 years, it's nearly unheard of. But at the First National Bank of Allendale and Mount Carmel, we've survived the Great Depression, 2 bank robberies, and of course, a horrific tornado. But through all of that, the First National Bank has pulled through and is now Wabash County's only independent bank, investing your deposits with local people. Stop by today and experience the personal approach to banking. The First National Bank, across from Target Mount Carmel and on Main Street, Allendale, member FDIC.
For the professional electrical service that you deserve, call S.K. Smith Electrical Contractors. S.K. Smith has been providing the Wabash Valley region with commercial, residential, and industrial lighting for over 10 years. S.K. Smith also provides electrical service for farms and oil fields. Our trained and courteous technicians are always there for minor electrical repairs, troubleshooting, or even industrial wiring. Don't trust the safety of your family or co-workers to just anyone. Call S.K. Smith today. S.K. Electric, your fully bonded electrical contractors.
All right, back in Bridgeport, Scott Allen, Rob Blackman, Kevin Madden, Rick Johnston. 11:22 to go in the game. Mount Carmel has scored to cut the deficit virtually in half. It's 27-20. Red Hill leads in the second round of the Class 3A playoffs. Gabe Williams delivers a kick. It will be taken by Brad Poughton at around the 15-20. He breaks outside to the 35, to the 40, 45, 50, and finally the Aces converge on him at around the 44-yard line. We didn't do a very good job of wrapping him up, and he got outside, Poughton did. And look at this. Red Hill has an excellent start to this series at the Aces' 45-yard line.
Well, the Aces defense must respond. If there's been a time we've needed them to step up and make the big play this year, it is right here. Get the ball back for the offense, keep this Red Hill club in check, and let's get the offense back on the field because the offense enjoying success here in the second half. Just haven't had enough chances with it.
Steve Wilson checks out wide to the right side, and that is Hill wide left. Gray also has wings split both ways and gives it to his lone setback. Allen spins through the line and gets a couple. He got around Aaron Berbrick, got between him and D. Helps finish him off. Maybe Schneider as well. A gain of 3, second down. 2nd and 7.
Boy, these Red Hill games have been Jim Dandies this season, I tell you what.
Line of scrimmage now, the Aces' 42-yard line. And here comes Gray back to the line, has a new wide receiver to the left side, Travis Stolting. And he's going to look that way and throw that way. No, instead he fakes it. Now he throws it to him long after the pump, and it is incomplete. Peters on the coverage. So he pumped once and then tossed it to Stolting on the fly down the left side, incomplete, third down.
We do have some updated scores for our fans. If I can remember where I wrote them down. I do know late in the game, late in the fourth quarter, it was Murfreesboro leading Carterville 21-20. We believe Murfreesboro held on for the victory, although we're not for sure. Massac County all over undefeated Vandalia 26-0 late in the game there. And in the third quarter, DuQuoin leads Freeburg 8-7 in Freeburg.
What a big third down play this is. 3rd and 7 for Red Hill. Line of scrimmage, the Aces 42. Receivers and flankers left and right. Now Akers is in motion to the left, and Gray looks that way. The Aces try to get in on him. He steps away from one. Now he's brought down. He couldn't get really away from Williams. That slowed him down. Too much traffic, and McNew and Schneider and others helped out, brought him down. It'll be 4th and long now for the Salukis.
Again, it was Gabe Williams just kind of got in the way. He got upfield. He basically fell to his knees and made Gray have to leap over him. That slowed Gray down enough for the rest of the Aces defense to get there and then make the play.
Steve Wilson back. Apparently will do the punting. He gets a good snap. Under a moderate rush, he gets the kick off. And Casburn, nope, we signal fair catch. We're going to get away, and where's it going to end up rolling down to? Inside the 10, inside the 5, and down to the 2-yard line. And so that's where the Aces take over at the 2-yard line after a kick of 41 yards.
It was a high, short punt, and Jed Casburn did the right thing. He said, get away, and I'll be darned if it didn't take a Red Hill bounce and drop inside the 5-yard line, down to the 2.
So 9:49 to go in the game. Our offense takes over. We are 98 yards away from the end zone that we must get to. It is 27-20. Red Hill leads here in the 4th quarter. And there are beginning to be factors entering this game that have only something to do with Red Hill, like the clock, for starters. Here is Rafferty. He sets the club down on 1st and 10. Receivers left and right. And hand off. Not much up the middle, maybe 2 or 3 for the ball carrier. Swanson to the 5-yard line he goes, and it is 2nd down.
Swanson, a busy man. That's already his 22nd carry of the afternoon for 93 yards.
And here's the pitch to the running back, Casburn, over the left side to around the 9-yard line or so he goes. So that'll bring up 3rd down for the Aces and about 4. So what gadget plays do we have up our sleeves? Do we have any?
A huge 3rd down play here for the Aces. We worked on a few this week, Scott. I don't want to give them out yet.
Yeah, we don't normally need them. We might today. Rafferty back to throw. Looking long. Now he's flushed out of the pocket and fires back here. Passes incomplete off the hands of Lovelace at around the 20-yard line. That would have been a 1st down. As it is, it's 4th down. Lovelace reacted, came back this way, and Rafferty saw him and just couldn't quite make connections.
Still plenty of time, 8:58 to go. We're going to have to punt it away. You'd think we would have gotten one offensive series before the end of the horn anyway. So, but Red Hill's going to get the ball in pretty good field position here.
That's the key there. If they've got any kind of kicker, here is Snow. And there's the kick, almost blocked by Red Hill. And there it is at the 40, 35-yard line. Gray brought down by Brandon Grant at around the 27. That's where he's actually brought down. And Red Hill starts from there at the Aces' 27-yard line with 8:50 to go in the game. Not a particularly enlightening scenario at this point, with Red Hill leading 27-20.
Well, in the first Red Hill game, we called on that Aces defense time and time again to make huge plays. We're having to do it again here today. They're going to have to stop them and get the ball back. If you get down by 2 scores this late in the game, it makes it awful tough to rally.
Wide left, Powden wide right now. They're going to switch out of that anyway and pull everybody back into the bone. And Gray calls the signals. And options right. And he's brought down from behind. By who? Swans? Was that
I believe that's
Aaron Burbrick?
What an individual effort. He dove. Aaron left his feet, grabbed him by the back of his shoulder pads, and just hauled him down. What an individual effort that time by Aaron Burbrick.
Loss of 4, 2nd and 14.
Taylor, this is where they really become dangerous, though, with Gray back here. I think you might agree, Rob, is that when they look like they're going to take some time off and they're going to grind it out and burn some clock, now's when they become dangerous, right, throwing it long or running some crazy situation.
Wilson goes to the right. Hill goes to the left. Now they bring everybody in and switch into the bone. The Aces react on 2nd and 14. Gray calls the signals. And keeps himself after faking to the fullback. He's dragged down. He was grabbed really as soon as he faked the handoff. D had a hold of him, and they drag him down. Maybe a gain of 1, but it still creates a 3rd and long for the Salukis. 3rd and about 14.
Aces defense doing the job to this point. You got to stop them one more time here. Interesting, is it 4-down territory or not for Red Hill? The ball on their own 29. You could punt and try to pin deep if you don't get it here, or go for it, and you still got the Aces in a pretty poor field position.
Yeah, I think they go ahead and go for it. It'll be 3rd down and 13 here. And are they going to switch out of this split formation? Nope, they stay in it. And here is Gray, fakes once. Schneider's got a beat on him. Fisher's after him. Gray's on the run, fires the pass, incomplete. It hit the deck in front of the receiver, and that brings up 4th down and long now.
Boy, fortunately he didn't take off running that time because...
Boy, all the Mount Carmel players are pointing somewhere towards one of the Red Hill players. I don't know if it's just words or if they thought there was an infraction of some kind, but they didn't get whatever they were looking for.
Decision time now for Bill Evans. You got the ball on our 29, 4th and 12. You could squib punt, pooch punt, try to pin deep, or do you go for it here and try to get a first down? I think they're going to go for it.
Bill Evans has been in this program a long time. He's had to put up with a lot during the lean years. He's going to go for it. 4th down and 12, and here's Billy Gray. Now they split out of the close set and go back to where we have receivers left and right now. Akers is in motion right to left. Flag down as soon as the snap. As soon as he took the snap, is the wide receiver on the left offsides or what?
I believe it might have been the left tackle, Matt Brashear. He was kind of holding his head like he started just a bit too soon. And it is offsides.
Yeah, now you change your mind. You get outside the 30, things start changing, right?
And yeah, I think you're right now. Here comes the punt team, yeah, because now you're at 4th and 17.
And now you can't really try to pin us. So, the 29er was too close, but boy, 5 yards makes all the difference, huh?
Remember, Wilson was the guy that threw the double pass, fellas.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. You still might see trickery here this late in the game.
Here is Wilson. He is going to punt. It's almost blocked by DeVue. He may have gotten a piece of it and deflected straight. But it takes a huge Red Hill bounce again and gets down to the 11-yard line. Well, it looks like DeVue may have gotten a piece of it. The kick went up in the air, came down to the 20, and took a 10-yard bounce.
Can you believe that?
I think Bill Evans went to Mass this morning. I tell you what. Oh, he's living right.
But you know what, though, Red Hill, it was like this the first game. It's like Mount Carmel, the kind of fortune we make for ourselves. But by golly, the Salukis have it this year. 7:08 to go in the game. Mount Carmel must go 89 yards now. 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. And here is Rafferty. He's back to throw on first down. Has time. Can't find anybody and now falls down at the 5-yard line.
Rob, Brandon Grant's really struggling getting off the line of scrimmage. They're bumping, holding, shoving, tripping. I mean, a lot of things to get to bump him off his route, and it's been tough.
Red Hill, yeah, you're right, doing a great job of really jamming the tight end and not letting him get off the line of scrimmage. That's really messed up our pass routes for Chris Rafferty.
2nd and 16, and now a handoff, and not much for the ball carrier. Swanson maybe back to the original 10-yard marker, just shy of that mark, at around the 8-yard line. So it is 3rd and 12 now.
If you remember, the 3rd week of the season, we're down, what, four points, I believe it was, with 5 minutes to go.
Right.
4 vertical, we score.
And here is Rafferty, back to throw, looking over the left side. It's almost picked off by Rafferty. And almost caught by the Aces on a deflection. Holy mackerel, both sides almost had that one. And as it is, it's 4th down. We have to give it up. Snow and Gray look like they, no, they were not exchanging words. Snow was talking to the official.
That ball was deflected twice by Red Hill defenders and then slipped out of the hands of Craig Snow. That ball was tipped 3 times before it finally came to the turf.
Red Hill's going to get another good start here. It's 4th down. Snow back inside his end zone. And he will get the kickoff. A fair catch called for. But look where Red Hill has the ball at the Aces' 33-yard line. We're down to 6:10 to go in the game. How much more adversity are we going to ask ourselves for here? Red Hill with another good start. If they get close enough, they apparently have some kickers. We saw Red Hill deliver. They had a weak extra point. I think you bring Wilson in and try him. Anything if they need 3 points.
Ball on our own 33, so they've got good field position to the Salukis. Well, again, here we go, asking that Aces defense to come up with another stop.
And here is Billy Gray. And Chris Allen almost. Fumble. Aces may have it.
We got it. Eric McKinney calls the fumble.
Well, the officials haven't signaled yet. They're unpiling everybody, and
we got it.
We have to have it.
It's Aces ball. Maybe that's a little bit of an emotional break we need. Instead of getting the ball at the 5 or so, maybe after a punt, we've got a shot now. Here's Kevin Madden.
God, just like you said, Mount Carmel known to make their own breaks. That time the defense shooting through, causing the fumble and getting the ball back. Hopefully that will fire this offense up and put some points on the board. 6:03 to go. We're down by 7.
Well, this would be one of the more dramatic playoff rallies we've had because we've been asleep on offense now for some time, it seems. And here is Casburn outside to the left to the 35, 40, 45, and where they're going to mark him about, looks like he got about 5 yards. And really, asleep is too strong of a term because we have moved the ball in the second half, but we have sputtered lately when it's counted in the last 2 times we've had the ball, and we just can't have that.
Remember the key penalty that nullified a touchdown early in the second half, or we'd be tied right now.
Yep. And 2nd and 5, and here's a handoff. Casburn, oh my! Wilson grabbed him high, and Tully grabbed him low, and nothing for the ball carrier. And that now brings up 3rd down at about 4 to 5 yards. Line of scrimmage is the Aces 43. And we're down to 5:19 to go in the game. Red Hill by 7.
Big play here.
Receivers left and right. And here is Rafferty. He wants to throw, but he's going to get brought down. The ball's loose. Red Hill has it. Rafferty fumbled the ball again on a sack. Then a flag is down. A flag is down.
Let's hope for a face mask on Chris. I don't know.
It's against Red Hill, says Kevin Madden, is what the officials are talking about.
That would keep the offense on the field if it happened during the play.
I didn't hear you, Kevin. What was your last? And it's
so it's during the play that nullifies the fumble and gives the Aces not only a 1st down but another chance. What a huge, huge penalty that is.
And what a huge bit of fortune for the Aces.
Stay tuned to TV 12. Warrior basketball is coming up next.
Still down by 7. We've got to get something going. And the walk-off, though, gives us a great move into Red Hill territory now. They're going to mark it down at the Red Hill 45-yard line. It's 1st and 10. Aces fans trying to come to life here with 5:04 to go in the game.
Well, again, I think it was holding on the receiver trying to get out of his route again.
And let's see. Now Carmel now has it from there. 1st and 10. Rafferty calls the signals and hands off. Swanson skates through the middle and down near the 41-yard line he goes. A little pushing off the ball. Nothing from the officials. The 2 sides separate themselves. A gain of about 6 by the ball carrier. 2nd and 4. 4:42 to go in the game. And here the Aces are in 2nd down. Fisher gets the call. He bangs over the left side and right near the marker. He's probably a yard shy around the Red Hill 38-yard line.
Mark Fisher just banging over that left side. He's just short of the marker. I think it'll be about a 3rd and 1 after the 4-yard gain.
And a long one at that, says the official, for where they mark it. 4:18 to go in the game. Rafferty calls, and there is Swanson, right side. First down.
They got the ball.
But does Red Hill have the ball? Yes! Red Hill took the ball away from Swanson. As he was stood up and tackled over the right side, they took it away. Red Hill's Joshua Young just took it away. And Red Hill has the ball at the 38-yard line.
He had enough for the 1st down, but Josh Young just reached in there and stripped it away. That is our 9th fumble of the ball game.
And Young did not even go for the tackle that time. He kind of slid in from behind, went straight for the ball, kind of got it from behind and wrestled it away.
4:11 to go in the game. Red Hill with a 7-point lead, and we've got to start going for the ball ourselves. Gray now with receivers left and right. We need something big to happen. And there's Allen. He's hit, but after a few yards of a pickup, he gets a couple, 2 or 3.
Aces have all 3 timeouts remaining. Be interesting to see when we begin burning those timeouts.
Are the Aces really going to see an undefeated season come to an end here in Bridgeport in week number 2? 2nd down and 8 to go. Red Hill with the ball with 3:44 to go in the game.
Red Hill, of course, taking their time now on offense, being very deliberate, eating as much clock as they can.
And here is Billy Gray. They shift out of that split set and bring everybody into the wishbone. And we're down to 3:26 to go in the game. And here is Gray. He options, may get a 1st down out of this. No, he's dropped just shy. Nice running back towards the middle by Gray. He was scrambling for anything to get to that marker. He's dropped at the 48. That leaves him a yard shy. It'll be 3rd down for Red Hill.
Well, Billy Gray just put this team on his shoulder offensively and took them to 1st down after 1st down.
And remember now, Billy Gray has done this with a subpar day in the air. He's never really gotten his passing attack together, and Red Hill still may end up winning the game. 2:51 to go. Aces really can't use a timeout here on 3rd and 1. And we're going to have to do that. Hey, wait, look, they got flags down. Everybody left. And Gray dove over the left side for the first down with the flags flew. What are they going to call?
One of the Salukis was too quick out of the gate here on the left side. One of the linemen, it'll be illegal motion, so that will now make it 3rd and 6.
Is this perhaps the biggest win of the career for Bill Evans if it holds up? I would imagine that's the case. Over a conference school, second week, if he can do it. After all the years that he had to stare at ignominious defeats from Mount Carmel, the 60s and the 70s, not eras, points in games that he had to put up against. This could be his sweetest victory ever. And against his rivals from the south. As it is, Red Hill with the ball now, 3rd and 5. Line of scrimmage, the 42-yard line. And here is Gray. He's optioning to the left, and he's going to have a first down and then some. He could score down the left sidelines. He's going to do it. Red Hill's going to do it. That could be it. Gray scores. Unbelievable. That may wrap it up for Red Hill. A 57-yard touchdown run for Gray. You just won't believe the scene. Red Hill senses they've won it. They have a huge lead on the scoreboard with 2:06 to go. And this big upset may just happen. Unbelievable. 33-20, Red Hill. This will be called the greatest victory in Red Hill history.
That's twice we've seen them run the quarterback sweep for big yardage, and that time, the biggest of all, a touchdown.
And here is the snap for the point after. And by golly, if Dusty Green doesn't tack it on, we're down by 14 points with 2:06 to go in the game. Red Hill is beside themselves. The players, the fans, the waving of the flags. It's an unbelievable sea of blue here. We'll be back to Bridgeport in a moment.
Capital Planning Alliance, our mission is simple.
Our mission is to help our clients achieve an ever-increasing degree of financial independence, safely and efficiently, through a long-term tax, legal, and investment planning relationship with a trusted and knowledgeable advisor.
Capital Planning Alliance's impressive staff consists of 4 certified public accountants, an investment advisor, and legal counsel, bringing to the table over 51 years of financial planning. Call the professionals at Capital Planning Alliance at 263-3640. Capital Planning Alliance, making your money work harder for you.
Denton Drugs in Mount Carmel is your hometown drugstore. They care about you and focus on giving you fast personal service. Denton's pharmacists are very professional and will take the time necessary to make you feel comfortable with your medication. Denton's also brings you health and beauty items and great gifts like perfume and Fannie Mae candies. At Denton Drugs, the customer is always #1, so stop by and see everything that Denton's has to offer. Denton Drugs, 418 Market Street, Mount Carmel.
Well, it's going to take a miracle the size of those Texas miracles that we saw a couple of years ago on TV to pull this one out of the fire. Red Hill leads Mount Carmel 34-20 with 2:06 to go in the game. We will get the ball. And there's the kick. And it'll plop down in front of who? Final one. We don't have the ball yet! We don't have the ball yet! Oh, my land. Oh, my land. Do we have? No. Red Hill has the ball. We just blew the kickoff. We didn't grab the ball, and Red Hill has it on a fumble. Unbelievable. Well, 2:01 to go in the game. Well, the way we played that play, we deserve that fate. But we tried desperately to run with the ball to get any kind of forward progress. We just forgot one thing. We were running without the ball. Oh, my, and Red Hill fell on it, and this one's history. 1:52 to go in the game. How many timeouts do we have? Well, it doesn't make any. We're down by 2 scores anyway. Well, how about this, huh?
Well, you can't fumble the ball 10 times in a ball game and expect to win, and that's what we've done today. 10 fumbles, 5 lost.
Yeah, we just tried a little too hard on that kickoff return and forgot to grab the ball first. Oh, well, 1st and 10, and now here is a handoff. And Chris Allen, that's all he has to do is protect the ball. We're going to grab it. And they bring him down at around the 30-yard line. Well, this is one of the toughest playoff defeats ever. That would seem certainty. 1:19 to go in the game. from Red Hill's angle, hey, what a moment for them.
Well, I'll tell you what, we keep talking about skilled positions and athletes. They have tremendous athletes. I'm telling you, they won the 7-on-7 University of Illinois this year when they went up there. In basketball, the same group goes over to Vincennes. They go undefeated. I'm telling you, they got great athletes. What their line has done is played just well enough to neutralize us at certain times in the game. I wouldn't say they've dominated the line. They've just played well enough in those spurts. And then you throw in a gutsy call on the double reverse in the end zone. Hey, hats off to Red Hill.
Yep. The first time they played us, they beat us all game, and we came up with a great bit of fortune at the end to win the game, and by golly, we thought it'd be different this time. You know what? They're doing it again. So this Red Hill team, and we haven't believed it for the last 10 weeks, is for real. We said it publicly. We didn't really believe it, and they've proven it to us today. 1:25 to go in the game. Red Hill by 14. And what a great moment for the Salukis and all of Bridgeport. They line it up now, 2nd down and 10. And Gray backs up, and McKinney brings him down, leads the way anyway on the sack. Fisher helps. And it really won't make too much difference. The Aces will call a timeout, and man, they're enjoying themselves here on this sidelines. 1:17 to go in the game.
It's been the big play that has killed us this afternoon. Listen to this. Red Hill has only 8 first downs to their credit. 34 points, 8 first downs. 4 of those first downs were actually touchdowns. So if you nullify the touchdowns, they've only had 4 first downs the whole afternoon. But the big plays they came up with when they needed to, 10 fumbles for Mount Carmel.
You know, and with the big plays they came up with the first time we played them, could anything top what we saw from Akers in that reverse? One of the most unbelievable plays we've ever seen. He ran 97 yards officially, but he took the handoff and countered all the way back through the end zone. 6 yards back at his deepest part of the end zone, and he went all the way for a touchdown. 3rd down. You know, we're going to get videotapes. We got to sell these videotapes for 2 times the price.
We could sell them in Bridgeport, I guarantee. We could sell them in Bridgeport.
And now here's Allen sweeping to the flag down. That's Akers sweeping over the left, and another flag flies. But, and around the 20, 30-yard line, we're down to 1:08 to go in the game. Red Hill 34, Mount Carmel 20.
I think the Aces are going to decline the penalty.
Well, the first time the Aces played Red Hill, we had 3 interceptions, suffered 3 interceptions. And today, 10 fumbles.
I take that we are taking the penalty now. Although I thought John Hart wanted to decline it. He was motioning his arms as if to say decline the penalty. But we do accept it.
So it is 3rd down now. So a little bit of a mistake there on that aspect of the play, and I'm not sure it makes too much of a difference now anyway. 1:08 to go in the game, and Red Hill leads by 14 points. And the season is going to end, shockingly enough, here in Bridgeport in week number 2. And here's Billy Gray. And he options left. And dives forward to around the 40-yard line, hangs onto the ball. The clock is running. 58 seconds to go. Aces timeout. How many do we have left? Well, we haven't signaled technically who called it. I guess it's Mount Carmel. There it is. 56.9 to go. And what do we got left?
I believe we have 1 timeout left. You're going to be looking at a 4th and about 19 or so for Red Hill.
So Bill Evans, the dean of coaches at Red Hill, this is his 2nd stint. He has had both of Red Hill's playoff clubs, but that team fell in the 2nd round. But this will be his sweetest win because he beats Mount Carmel in the 2nd round of the playoffs and at home in front of the home folks as well. Is that a fire truck getting ready for a fire truck ride already for Red Hill?
I believe that's crowd control.
That's crowd control fire truck.
Traffic control, yeah.
Okay. And there's the kick. Wilson will launch it towards the end zone. Ryan Peter backs up, grabs it at the 4. Now tries to start running. Oh, that's a clip, Look at the 8-yard line. Well, that only means 4 yards anyway. As Peter was brought down to the 8-yard line, so we'll start at the 4 with 47 seconds to go in the game. Mount Carmel will finish their season at 10-1. The season still full of superlatives. They did set a record with 25 consecutive regular season wins, and that streak will continue into next year. They won the NEC crown. We struggled last week against Carlisle and ended up winning. And we did not have what it takes here today. Red Hill. And you can say they made lucky plays and big plays, and yeah, that pretty well is true, but Mount Carmel certainly has had their share of breaks. We think that when we have these breaks, that they are things that come our way by things we do, so we must assume that for Red Hill. Someone else has gotten the breaks that we usually get in a game, and they've used it against us, but rarely have we seen it to the degree that we've seen from Red Hill this year. Rarely, if ever, in the last 20 years have we seen a team create its own breaks against Mount Carmel, because we allow so few breaks as a rule. Today was a different story. We allowed plenty. But to allow them is one thing. Red Hill took advantage of them, and that's quite another. And did they ever? We led 14-0. We've been outscored 34-6 since the first 5 minutes of the game. Pretty convincing. There is Rafferty to Snow on the left side, 15 down to the 20-yard line. First down for the Aces. We're down to 41.1 seconds. They'll move the chains and start again. And Red Hill moves on at 9-2, the last NEC team to play in the state tournament of 1996. And Rafferty has time, wings it to the left. It's picked off by Red Hill. Or is it?
Incomplete, I believe.
Incomplete, they say. Drop, apparently not picked off. And it will be second down. We're down to 31 seconds to go in the season. 34-20 is the score. Red Hill with the lead. And here is Rafferty handing off. Swanson bottlenecked up. Grabbed low, grabbed high for a loss on the play. Back of the 17-yard line, and we're down to 22 seconds to go, and Red Hill begins to celebrate. And the clock will run out, and the party will begin in Bridgeport. The greatest victory perhaps in Red Hill history. Here today on this field, and it comes at our expense. Now Rafferty gets a snap off, fires a pass to the left side, and Snow catches it. Yes! At the 40-yard line, we're down to 3.1 seconds to go. They'll move the chains and start the clock, and we'll have one play left in the season. The final snap. Rafferty looking. Throws for Lovelace, and it's over his head, incomplete. That's the game! Red Hill has beaten Mount Carmel in the playoffs. Red Hill's fans stormed the field in celebration. Quite a scene here in Bridgeport. Red Hill has ended Mount Carmel's season in shocking fashion with a 34-20 win in round 2 of the Class 3A playoffs. The Salukis move on now and face DuQuoin in the next round next week, and we'll be back to Bridgeport to wrap it up in just a moment.
Last year, we introduced Formula Shell gasoline. It's nice to see so many folks getting a kick out of it. Shell, the world's best-selling gasoline.
We know that evaluating and selecting nursing care is confusing to most people. Our staff will help you find a solution that will work for your family and fit your circumstance. We provide all levels of nursing care, including a special care unit for patients with Alzheimer's disease and VA-related disorders, along with a hospice program. Short-term or long-term care is easily arranged, and we're a Medicare-certified nursing home. General Baptist Nursing Home, where your friends care for you.
For a decade now, Pit Stop Services has served area drivers with dedicated service. Whether it's Pit Stop's famous Quick But Complete oil changes or Pit Stop's great deals on all-season radials from Michelin, Cooper, Remington, and others, Pit Stop Services has built its reputation on putting the customer first. Now Pit Stop is proud to offer ZZ Wheels. ZZ Wheels is the hottest look in wheels and features a patented interchangeable twist lock design to completely transform the look of your wheels in seconds. Drive a little, save a lot at Pit Stop Services. Make your Thanksgiving dinner a breeze with a stop at Mount Carmel Red and White's Deli Bakery. Red and White will cook your complete Thanksgiving meal, including the turkey, dressing, mashed potatoes, gravy, and all the trimmings. Red and White's Bakery even takes the work out of your Thanksgiving dessert with fresh-made pumpkin pies, cakes, and cookies. This Thanksgiving, spend more time with your family and friends and less time in the kitchen. Let Red and White do the work. Red and White open 24 hours a day at 9th and Walnut.
Face DeCoin next week. DeCoin beat Freeburg today. And Mount Carmel, a lot of heads hanging. Now they have risen from the talk Aces coach John Hart. They managed to get their helmets on, and now as soon as the meeting breaks up, tears start to flow there, and some of the kids again fall to their knee in showing emotion after this tough loss today. 34-20 is the final. And Red Hill moves on. The Aces finish at 10-1. Problem with a loss like this, it's you have to focus to remember the good parts of the year. Okay, let's go to the sideline. Let's go to Kevin Madden. He's got Aces coach John Hart.
Coach, Scott Quiet seen here on the field. Red Hill, of course, advancing to the quarterfinals of the Class 3A playoffs. Joined now by Mount Carmel coach John Hart. And Coach, just a tough way to end the season here today.
Well, we just had too many turnovers, and you know, when you do that, you're not going to win big games. And you know, we had to be a little better at defense than what we were all year long. We felt like it was coming on, but we didn't actually turn that corner. Carlisle kind of exposed us there a little bit. So, you know, it's a great year. It's a huge tribute to these kids, 10-0, and winning some of the games they did. And you know, I'm just awful proud of them. I wish it ends a different way, but you know, there's only a couple teams that and I guess 6 in the state of Illinois that don't end it this way. So it's just a little earlier than what we thought.
Coach, talk about the 97-yard touchdown, the reverse in the end zone. Obviously, not expecting a play like that in the end zone. Just talk about what happened.
Well, we were prepared for that. It was something that we pretty well prepared for, and we had a chance to make the play, but. You know, one of our guys just kind of blew a little bit of assignment. He flowed the wrong way, trying to make a big play instead of a regular play. But, you know, they're 17-year-old kids, and, you know, and I don't know, if I was out there, I may make the same mistake. I don't know.
Just talk about Billy Gray. You've talked about him all year, how great of a player he is. He really showed that today.
Well, he's a great athlete, and that's what he did tonight. He used a lot of athleticism. When he got in trouble, he just ran with the football, and we didn't tackle him well enough. So, we, again, there was a lot of, you know, what we feel like was blown assignments early in the ball game where we gave him a chance to get back into it, and that's what kind of hurt us.
What were they doing defensively this time to really shut things down for the most part?
Well, really, it was just our execution. You know, I mean, they penetrate a lot, and we weren't, you know, keeping off the penetration. So, you know, their line basically whooped our line.
Coach, we won't keep you any longer. Thanks a lot, and again, a great season.
All right, thanks, Kevin.
Mount Carmel coach John Hart after the Aces bow out in the second round of the Class 3A playoffs here today to Red Hill. The Salukis win it 34-20. We'll see if we can line up Bill Evans for you.
Well, if you do, he's liable not to have any hair on, Kevin. Apparently, they've decided to shave him right now. I don't know if I'd want my head shaven by masses of people after a big win. I'd rather wait for the professionals to come along. He's gonna come out there with a bloody head. Well, that was his promise. He's shaving his head right now after the win. Okay. Well, so we'll try to see if Kevin can get in there and get a comment from the Red Hill Saluki coach. I mean, you know, I've got to imagine this is the greatest win in Red Hill history, football history. It can't be too far off. A win over Mount Carmel, the second round of the playoffs here at home. I mean, it's got to be, right?
It's a huge win.
Yeah, it's nothing like beating the neighborhood boys, and that's what Red Hill has done today. And they have beaten the Aces at their game, playoff football, nobody does it better in Southern Illinois than the Aces have over the years, but Red Hill was one better today.
Well, you hate to keep beating a dead horse, but again, hats off to Red Hill. They executed it crunch times and made some big plays. And, you know, again, we alluded before the game, I kind of thought that maybe we're going to make long, continuous drives and try to take away that big play, and obviously that's not the case. We had to take up chunks of the field and try to move the football, and they made some big plays.
Hang on there, Kevin. Kevin, I don't know if you're hearing, if you can even hear me down there, or are you in a position where you can talk? I haven't been monitoring you. Yeah, I see you. I see you. Any chance to get Coach Evans? Nope, he's still working on it, apparently.
Yeah. We can burn a break if you need to, partner.
Why don't we do that? We'll take a break, and we'll be right back to Bridgeport then in a moment. The final score today in the second round of the Class 3A playoffs, Red Hill 34 and Mount Carmel 20. We'll be back in a moment.
Security Bank is your bank for life, all your life, and for all your financial needs. And no matter how much your needs change, we'll always keep you moving in the right direction to get you safely where you want to be. We offer a full range of financial services, so we can do a lot for you now and in the future. From simple checking to good living loans for any reason, we're here to serve your financial needs every step of the way. Security Bank, your bank for life.
Electric wires are too high to touch.
Wrong. Overhead wires are insulated.
Wrong. Wood does not conduct electricity. Wrong. What you don't know can hurt you.
Take care around electricity.
Committed to quality. It's a pretty simple statement, but at Wabash General Hospital it means so much more. Committed to quality is Wabash General's promise to stay abreast of modern medical treatment and technology, provide kind and compassionate care, and maintain the high standards of medical excellence that the community expects and deserves. Wabash General provides modern medical technology, a highly skilled staff, and a commitment to our community to offer quality, compassionate care close to home. That's Wabash General Hospital, Mount Carmel.
Mount Carmel's full-service car care center is Southern Illinois Tire on West 3rd Street. Southern Illinois Tire's quality service technicians handle everything from front end alignment, transmission service, brakes, oil changes, mufflers, and of course tires. Southern Illinois Tire has the brand name tires you're looking for from Firestone, Michelin, General, and others, all at a price that can't be beaten. Southern Illinois Tires, 1121 West 3rd Street, Mount Carmel.
Is addressing the press on the field after the game. Let's join in.
I mean, I tried to run the middle, and those guys kept telling me it was open, but it didn't seem to work. So we decided to fake it in the middle since we'd been running there and run Billy on the outside, and he hit the seam. And I'll tell you, you know, there's not a better quarterback in the conference. He is obviously the all-conference quarterback. He should be. And he's played well all year for us, had a couple bad games in throwing the ball, but you saw today that we don't necessarily have to throw the ball. We can run the ball and play good defense. And the only thing we need to work on is keep learning how to win solidly without getting too emotional, because the game's never over. I mean, we had them beat down there, and they turned around and came back and beat us with under 3 minutes to go. So it's a type of ball game that, you know, I told our coaching staff, I said, get the team over to the side and settle them down. Even though we were 2 touchdowns up with 2:01 left, I told them, I said, any quick bomb or trick play, and the next thing you know, they're onside kicking it, and we're struggling, and we're puckering up and trying to give the game away again. But it didn't happen this time. The defense played solid, and I said all along that defense was our best part of this football team, and I'll still say that.
Bill, talk about the first of the game. Really, before you could blink, you're down 14-0. Talk about the way the kids really, like you always like to say, sucked it up and really kept after, and they could have really hung their head and really gotten blown down, but they came back really strongly.
Well, like I said, I think the next series on stopping them and forcing them to punt, and then Billy's punt return was very important. And then the fumble by Rafferty and Young picks it up. We call him Chunk. Chunk picks it up, and he's one of the fastest kids on our team, even though he's one of the biggest too, and he just scampered. And like I said, that was the big turnaround I felt. From that point on, our kids were just confident. It looked a little shaky there a little bit in the third quarter, but, you know, like I said, they took a lot of time off the clock running that ball down the field. And so once we got that last touchdown, I knew that, you know, the Aces had basically packed it in. We were just trying to keep everybody in the ball game, keep everybody healthy, so everybody can play another day.
Talk about the 97-yard touchdown. I mean, you're on your own goal line, or reverse. Just talk about the thinking going into that play call.
Well, actually, you know, it was a type of call that was made because, for one thing, they were packing in the middle again, and we just thought that we wanted to get outside, believe it or not, and just get some punting room. That's what we were trying to do. And we got a good block on the outside, and he got a broken tackle. And you know, Freddie Akers was one of the fastest kids in the conference, too, and because Williams was coming, and he was gaining on him a little bit, but, you know, Akers had already run about 60 yards. So, make a long story short there, that was a biggie. Yeah, that was very, very, very big swing there, too. But there's so many big plays in a game like this that it's just really hard to tell.
Talk about how satisfying this win is. Second round of the playoffs, second time in school history. Obviously, probably a stupid question, but your biggest win as a coach? Oh, there's no doubt. The biggest win as a coach. This is bigger than the first win over KZ in the triple overtime game in '88. This is you know, I've been head coach, I think, 17 or 18 years now, and it's no doubt. Well, it's longer than that. I guess it's 20 years. I'm getting so old, but it's no doubt, and it's the biggest win in the history for me as a coach, and I'm sure it's the biggest win for our school too. So it's just, I knew we could do it. Our kids knew we could do it. Our coaching staff felt we could do it. We watched them on film last night beat us one more time. We said, how in the world did we lose that football game? And it was just because we hadn't been in that situation before. So, you know, like I said, you know, I'm just so proud. You know, I'm kind of lost for words, Kevin. Just kind of lost for words. Coach, get ready for the haircut.
Yes, I got to get ready for the haircut. I don't know where that's coming, but you want to see somebody ugly, wait till I get this haircut up.
Coach, thanks a lot. Congratulations. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Red Hill coach Bill Evans after the Salukis knock off Mount Carmel 34-20 the final score as Red Hill advances to the quarterfinals of the Class 3A playoffs. They'll play DuQuoin next Saturday.
And thank you, Kevin, for what we understand. They'll play that game in DuQuoin, too. And that, we know, is no easy place to play.
Tough place to win in Indian country, and Red Hill will have their hands full, but if they play as well as they did today, it ought to be a Jim Dandy in DuQuoin on Saturday.
Well, if DuQuoin doesn't stop Billy Gray, you know. All right, have we done stats?
Well, we need to take a break, a couple more take a break, and we'll come back to do stats, and then we'll say goodbye in just a minute.
Golden Aces football, 1996, on Mount Carmel's own Channel 12. Brought to you by Security Bank and Trust Company, Welborn Clinic, Schwartz Heating and Air Conditioning, Subway, Mount Carmel Sand and Gravel, Patriot Motors, Bank of Mount Carmel, and Hardee's. Also by First National Bank, Shawks Body and Glass, and Deck Hill Battery, Little Italy's Pizza, Capital Planning Alliance, Corwin Printing, The Apothecary Shop, Dairy Queen, and Pit Stop Services. And by Kiefer Lumber Company, Mount Carmel Red and White, Harris Insurance Agency, S.K. Smith Electric, Guy Hadley's Cafe, First Cellular, Mount Carmel Public Utility, and the J. Woodman Autoplex. And by KB Construction, Wabash General Hospital, Kiefer Brothers Construction, Gottman's Custom Jewelry, Robert Walter Furniture, Mundy Insurance, Denton Drugs, and Dersh Energies. And by General Baptist Nursing Home, Southern Illinois Tire, and WSJD Mix 100.5. Golden Aces football on Mount Carmel's own Channel 12.